Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to my channel. And today we are talking about Elite Dangerous. Now we knew, and we have always known that we would be talking about Elite Dangerous. Now the reason why we're here is to discuss Odyssey, is to discuss the gameplay trailer that was released to us. How long ago now, guys? Actually, I should say, who have we got here? Spanky, are you here?
I am here, yes.
Bouncy.
I am here.
Anyone else?
Not yet.
Not yet. I like that, Bounce. That's good. I like that. So we'll wait for them to turn up. What we're going to do is we're just going to, whilst we're waiting for everybody to turn up and say hello, we've got AV, Mr. V from America. He's going to drop in. We've also got Anthony from Australia who's going to come and join us as well. Now, all of these people, including Mr. Bounce and Mr. Spanks as well, are all very heavy Elite Dangerous players. And let's just see what David Braben has to say. That because it's kind of cool. Let's just see what Mr. B says.
Hello everyone, David Braben here. Now we've been making great progress on Odyssey, and what we have here is not quite a dev diary. We thought we'd mix it up a bit. This is a video of 3 of our excellent community.
What the frick? I just gotta say, I'm trying to stop that, but it's not. When I push spacebar, it's not doing what I want it to do.
What we have here is not quite a dev diary.
Yeah, hello game. When I push spacebar, it should stop it. What the frick?
We'd mix it up a bit.
Oh, it's K. Why is it K to stop?
This is a video of...
Either way, what I want to say is, I love the fact that the video that we got starts with, let's try and get David in a better...
3 of our excellent community team.
Let's leave it like that. It's fine. We don't need to keep David on the screen. What I want to say is, I love the fact that the video that we got a couple of weeks ago was preempted and was presaged by the fact that David Braben, the guy who is the granddaddy of Elite, he's in his dining room with this wonderful, in fact I am going to go back, with this wonderful like ship.
Hello everyone, David Braben here.
He's got these wonderful ship models in the background. It's just, there's something quite sweet about that. I kind of like it. I don't know what you guys think about David Braben. I always call him David Braben, but that's incorrect. It's David Braben. I think he is just such a wholesome guy. If you think of Arthur Dent from The Hitchhiker's Guide to Galaxy, I think David Braben wants to be Arthur Dent. I think he does. And I honestly think probably if we looked into it a little bit, he probably knew Douglas Adams. I'm guessing those two they would have traversed in similar circles. And obviously Douglas Adams was taken from us a little bit too early, but I love the fact that we're looking at David Braben in his house with a couple of models of ships that he's built in the background. Can anybody identify those ships? Has anybody got any idea what any of those ships are?
What are you guys looking at? What are you guys seeing right now?
We're looking at Mr. V. Are you there?
Yeah, hey guys. Yeah, I just popped in here.
We're looking at David Braben's face.
What are you like screen sharing?
No, I'm on YouTube. I'm streaming on YouTube.
Oh, that is so weird. I've got 0 notification. Okay, I'm hopping over. All right.
No, that's cool. But keep in the Discord because then you'll be on YouTube as well.
Perfect. Oh, perfect.
That's how it works.
Internet fame. Love it.
Hey, look, I have to say, guys, did anybody check out AV's video earlier on of his his little interaction down on the planetary surface? It was great. I was screaming at the TV Alan, when
Yeah.
you were trying to pick up that cargo rack, and I was going, "Oh, you keep this SRV keeps hitting itself on that bit of stuff. It won't." And then you were like, "Fuck it, I'll just blow it up."
Yep. It was so infuriating.
Oh,
and if it hits a tuft of sand, it'll flip up into the atmosphere. It's totally horrible.
And then you hit like a
It's a nightmare.
you hit like a leaf on the floor, and you flew up in the air, and you were like, "What the fuck?" Anyway,
I had a thought a little too hard about the ground, and that's what caused it.
it was good fun.
Terrible.
It was good fun. It was good fun. Can you see the
Thanks,
stream
man, yeah.
on your screen
fun.
now?
Yeah, it looks like someone has YouTube open and it's paused right now, and we're
That's
looking
me.
at the man himself.
That's me. We're looking at the David Braben. So what we were saying was,
Braben.
let's just have a listen to what David said. But what I was saying was,
All right,
it's
yeah.
really quite nice that the video was kind of prologued with David saying, "Here they go. This is what they're doing." But it's clearly in his house, and he's got these lovely little ships in the background that he has probably built. And I just thought it was a really kind of a nice little touch. But let's see what he says, and we'll carry on.
Now, we've been making great progress on Odyssey, and what we have here is not quite a dev diary. We thought we'd mix it up a bit. This is a video of 3 of our excellent community team raiding a settlement. It's still pre-alpha, but a huge well done to the team for getting to this point. I've been playing it too. It's really coming together. We'll share more in the coming weeks, but here is the video. Enjoy.
I'd just like to say, I'm just sorry to pause David there, but we'll share more in the coming weeks. I'm not sure if that has come to fruition. I don't think they've shared too much more in the coming weeks. I think we're now kind of, the alpha is going to be next week. But let's see what happens.
Enjoy.
Now hold on, I want to just go back on that. This is the first piece that we have here, guys. And straight away, it's very different. I mean, the planetary surface is different. The horizon is different. The corona above the horizon is different. Everything seems very, very different. What do you guys think about this image? This is the very beginning of what we've got. Obviously, the guy's in a Alliance ship, so that's fine. There's no worries. But you don't see anything like this in the game at the minute. Nothing like this.
What do you mean in terms of the atmosphere?
Yeah, the atmosphere, and you cannot see anything like this in game at the minute. You cannot get close to anything like this. When you go down onto an ice planet, everything above you is totally black, and you don't have this kind of blue corona. Is that right? Am I wrong?
No, you're right on. It's it's basically, it stays consistently black. I mean, the closer you get to the surface, maybe there's a kind of fog, or a little fogginess matching the color of the surface dirt that might happen for a little atmospheric effect, but there's nothing really in the sky.
Yeah, what I'm saying is it doesn't look like this. When you come
Not
down,
at all.
when you come down onto a planet, it doesn't look like that. And I mean, if you look at the ice,
I think it looks beautiful.
it looks great, but I mean, you can't land on
great,
any of that.
yeah.
There's no way that you can. I couldn't, you can't even land a lollipop stick on that. That's not happening. But it's interesting to see. Straight off the bat, they've given us this, and this looks, for me, it feels like they're coming in on the glide. When you have the glide when you come down onto the planet, this feels like it's the glide that they're coming down on, and they've turned the camera around and they're looking back up at the ship, and it's a cool angle and it looks good.
Yeah, I see it.
And I think this, when I saw this the first time it came on, I was like, yeah, this is good. This is kind of good. But I don't know how much
I remember. Yeah.
this is making me think, yeah, there's going to be a different kind of atmosphere when you get down on the planet. But we'll get there. Spanx, what do you think when you see this? This guys, so just to let you know, this is what I'm going to do. And if anybody else joins us in the live chat or in the actual Discord chat, tell me you're in, because I don't know if you're here. We're expecting Anthony to join us as well. And as long as I know you're here, I'm going to ask you all for your opinions on what's going on. So Spanx, what do you think when you see this?
I'm more interested about the planet generation, to be totally honest. It does look a lot more detailed.
Even from here?
Yes, even from this high in orbit, it looks a lot more detailed.
I agree. I mean, I think
like a higher resolution.
Yeah, it looks for me it just looks totally alien to anything we've seen before. Anything at all. Just, even if you look over to the right there, it looks, there's like a period of like flatness, like almost like a snow meadow. And also on the left as well, you can see a similar kind of thing. And then right in the middle, you've got this wonderful sort of cacophonous peaking and sort of almost like a meringue of ice. It looks great. And I haven't seen anything like that in the game at all. Bouncy, have you seen anything like this?
Not in this level of detail, but if you go to some smaller planets, you get this fog. If you go in lower lands, it can kind of look like an atmosphere, but nothing like this. Actually, it looks great when they're down on the surface.
Yeah, I know what you mean. There is a sort of like a mist, if you like, when you go down. I think the thing for me that caught me on this was just over the horizon line, where the kind of blue changes, and it's usually black. You can see up in the top right, it's black, and it comes down and it gets blue. And then over to the left of the screen, it's really quite light blue, and that you don't get that at all. There's nothing that gives an idea of an atmosphere. Obviously, you've got a couple of shooting stars there on the left, and you have the nebula in the background, just there in the top left as well. But when I saw this, I was like, ooh, yeah, it really got my. It got my gears going, and I was very excited. Right, let's carry on. See what we get.
Definitely.
Yeah, we got Dark Voiders in the video chat.
DK, are you here?
He's on the YouTube chat.
Oh, dude, what is going on? I need a new tablet, guys. This is not good. Oh man, well, there's loads of chat going on here, and I can't see it.
Hey, Voiders.
DK, how you doing, man? Let me just sort my thing out. I need to sort this out. This is no good. DK, hey, look at him. He's like, damn, I can't wait. It is going to be wicked. Right, let's push on. Let's push on. See how we go. Dutch munitions.
All right, guys, on our way in.
Okay, guys, just throughout the whole of this, we're not going to mention any of the acting skills, okay? We're not going to mention any.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Okay. So none of the acting skills. These guys aren't actors. They're probably not even. They just okay.
Dutch Missions is 20 km ahead. The landing shouldn't be a problem, but when you're there, take no chances. I would suggest avoiding contact. Use cover as much as possible. Get the job done and get out. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to hold it there because this is a cool kind of a look at what we're doing. Obviously, they cut together some bits. They cut together some bits and bobs to get it what we know. We know that this isn't a one take through playthrough. We know it's cut together with various different elements. That's not a problem. Not interested in that. We all know that's fine.
Yeah, right.
Oh, hold on. DK is saying, is it coming for PS4, PS5 as well? Eventually, yeah. Eventually it will. Don't worry.
I think August, right?
Yeah, maybe they say August. It might be a Christmas present if it's anything. So we come down into Dutch Munitions Stockade, and straight away, this looks very different to any place that you land in the game. I'll just push a little bit further on just to see.
I think we should be all right. All right, guys, we're here at the power buildings at the back.
Power buildings at the back, that's great. So you can see just around, you've got buildings on the side on the left, it says STO. There's another building in the front, I can't read it from here, but we'll work out what it says. And there's another building just to the left there that says HAB, I think it says HAB actually, habitation it must be. So
habitat, that's what
I think what we're going to have are these kind of, all of these settlements that we have. And if you look at the Dutch munition stockade, the little icon it's got, this little sort of the buildings that it has, that is the smallest settlement usually that we can dock at, in the game at the minute. That's like the tiniest place to be. But what do you guys think when you see this? This is, and I've got to be honest, I don't think there's going to be too much deviation in planetary surface bases, such as Dutch munitions stockade. I would imagine they're going to be pretty similar.
Yeah. How do you mean?
Well, in as much as I don't think the layout of them is going to be very different. I think the placement of the settlements is going to be very, very similar. Otherwise, I think from a development point of view,
respective to the planet.
No, I mean respective to the actual architecture. The way that the base is laid out. So what we're seeing in front of us, I think, is how we're going to see a lot of them look. And it's not, whether that you can't expect them to make 1,000 different layouts of different bases. I think when you come down to land, they're going to all look. They're all going to look the same, is what I'm saying.
I think they'll put it together out of blocks, so you'll have like a stockade block, and that'll appear somewhere, and then they'll just all be connected by roads. So it'd be like having I reckon that's how to do it. So they'll build in a bit of a variation in it.
Well, that would be nice.
Well, there was some mention about sort of the equivalent at these new bases of like what Stellar Forge was, so that there's going to be like procedural generation, and a lot of these bases are going to be put together on the fly. And I imagine there's going to be like some kind of noise in there to give it a little bit more of a unique kind of arrangement as you go to different stations, at least as much as they can. I think you guys are right. I don't think there's going to be fantastic, completely unique bases between each base. But I think there might be a little bit more than a kind of cookie cutter base layout than what we're seeing now.
Oh, I hope that's true, because I in my head I'm thinking, when you look at the 4 or 5 different types of bases, dockable space stations that we have in the game at the minute, whether it's the Coriolis, whether it's the Orbis, whether it's the Oculus, whether it's the Astrobase, all of those are exactly the same. Okay, so they obviously, the name may be different.
Yeah, sure.
There might be a different color palette. There might be
windows.
There might be a different, Irish person telling you to come in or not, or what? Do you know what I mean? It's
right. Her nice northerner. Yeah.
It doesn't. Either way, I can't see them doing anything different for the planetary bases like we've had, because if we think about it, the reason why I say that, it's not just through griping, groaning, nothing like that. The reason why I say it is because the planetary bases that we go and see now are all the same. They are one of like maybe 4 different types. You either have the big round one, it's like a big city base, or you have and I get that, it's totally understandable that they can't just create separate bases for certain places. They have obviously created separate bases for all of the engineers, if you want to call them engineers, which is incorrect, but if you want to call them engineers, that's fine. They have created separate bases for the engineers.
Yeah, right.
But everything else is as you put it, Mr. V, a cookie cutter. That's what it is.
I wonder if that was maybe their hands were tied.
Maybe they're. I know, yeah. I mean, I'm not laughing. I'm laughing because the game's been out for 6 years. I'm just, I'm saying.
I know.
I totally get it.
It's a shame, but you're glued to your ship essentially, and so that's kind of the platform that all the other interactivity is kind of based on. So I think now that we're getting space legs, we might see a really something like maybe like an explosion of design now, because now that we are able to get up and walk around and inspect, I mean, they know we're going to be curious, especially the explorers. So I wonder if this kind of takes off the limitations where they can maybe get some of their artists in there and level designers and have them go a little bit crazier.
Take them away from
maybe that's a little hopeful.
Yeah, take them away from Roller Coaster World and Jurassic Evolution, and maybe put them on Elite Danger. But I'm joking, obviously. But I think you have actually hit on an interesting point. Bouncy, what do you think about the planetary surfaces? What do you think? Do you think it's going to be same, or do you think they might be able to implement some kind of change?
No, I think they are going to implement a completely new planetary generation system. So I think we'll see some very varied planetary surfaces and geological anomalies, so to say.
A lot of difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the bases are not. I'll have to politely disagree, because the bases we have now are not all cookie cutters. You have the same amount of buildings, the same amount of certain buildings, but they're usually arranged differently when you go out in the black, at least.
Yeah.
Those bases along to the Colonia, they're not all the same. You have a variation on layout and such, but I have high hopes for the new planetary generation system.
That's interesting you say that. I mean, and also Mr. V touched on something by saying when you're in your ship the whole time, I guess the prevalence for the developers is, well, it doesn't really matter what it looks like, because they're in their ship and they can only see a certain amount anyway. There's only going to be a small percentage of people who get out in a ship and fly around and really take a close, slow period, like a ponderous kind of look around everything. I've done that. I know you guys have all done that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I think we're probably in the minority, and I think most people just go and they want to get to the station because they know they have to buy something or sell something or hand something. That's the station it's more of a destination rather than rather than a what's the other word? I don't know. Rather than an experience or a point of interest or what, it's not about. I don't care if the station is blue and green. I just want to get in it and sell my shit before I have to go somewhere else. You know what I mean? That's kind of interesting. But Bouncy, you reckon that it's going to be? You reckon it's going to be a lot different? That's
yeah. They said that the planetary generation
that's what I like to
is
hear.
Completely new. So it's. I don't know what they're going to do with the existing planets. They're probably overwritten or something, but it's going to be completely new from what I heard.
Well, I mean, when you look at the screen right now, and if this is gameplay from the alpha, I don't see, totally rewritten planetary architecture. It looks the same to me. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, from here, but when you saw from higher above, you could see it's really detailed and bumpy planet.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In a different way from what we have today.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I mean, if we're looking at what's the word? Bloody hell, how can I not say that word? What's the word? continuity. If you're looking at continuity from the ship coming down into this planet and then us landing here, the ship was coming down onto a very white, icy base planet, and we're now down on this planet, and it looks beige and grey and the same as
sandy, like rocky, yeah,
as normal. Which, look, as I said, I'm not here to you know, I'm not here to troll anything. I'm just saying these are my observations from what we've got. And looking at this base that we have in front of us, other than, you know, maybe a couple of extra blocks like Spanks was saying, it doesn't look any different really to going to one of the research stations that were in the game at Halloween, and you know, and those different types of things. It looks similar, but I think there's more going on, and I hope there is more going on. More's to the point.
Definitely internally, yeah.
But it
might be interesting too is that we could check this planet out right now before the alpha, and compare it that way too.
Well, I don't even know what planet this is. It just says Dutch Munitions Stockade. If it was a musician stockade, that would be fantastic. But it's not.
Oh, those would be the Jettison like.
That's fantastic. We'll have Louis Armstrong down here. That'd be superb. Right. Anyway, let's go. Let's keep looking.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find the planet. Yeah.
Let's keep looking and see how we get on.
Right hand side next to command.
Yeah, I also thought that maybe
hold
we'd have different layouts based on the difficulty level of the mission.
Different base layouts.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because they were talking about. I believe in this one that it's a very easy mission.
Yeah.
So the tougher ones, I think you're going to look into have a different base layouts based on the difficulty.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Let me just. Can I get rid of that? Do I have to just push a button? How do I get rid of the? Will that go away now? Why will that go away? How do I get rid of that?
The plan is.
I can't get rid of the YouTube bits.
What's that?
Yeah, they're just YouTubey bits at the bottom, but I don't mind. It's okay. It shows that we're watching a video. So just as what Spanks was saying, it changed the look of what we got. So now the HUD has changed totally. So we've got that scanner in the top, which is cool. We've got the temperature in Kelvin, everyone's favorite temperature scale. We've got the gravity. And we have the latitude and latitude and longitude, which is good. I just love the fact that they put the temperature in Kelvin because, you know, Americans have temperature in Fahrenheit. Europeans have temperature in Celsius. Nobody uses Kelvin. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Why? I mean, I kind of like it for the science, but. So what else we got? We got
what is it? Plus 273 or minus?
Yeah. It's plus 273 to convert to Kelvin.
But yeah, 273. All right, we all know what Kelvin is. All right,
maybe
fine.
not too hard.
So, well, it's not. Whilst it's not too hard, it's just sort of. I don't know. Is it necessary? Who knows? We'll see. But anyway, look, we've got this scanner here. So
I gotta check out it.
This changes things completely. Okay, you can see on the screen now we've got that skimmer just up there above our head. That's popping up. We're running in. That must be somebody in front of us because we must be here. We've got a little couple of HUD things down at the bottom left, and it says there's like a medical symbol, and it says off. Fair enough. Shield, 100%, and we have oxygen, 100%. And all these other little icons. Let's look at these icons. So what do we got down here? I don't know if you can see this, guys, but this little red one down here is like an eyeball. So you've got a little eyeball. This one here looks like a temperature gauge. This one here looks like if you had like a double jump. It's like that to me. That says double jump. That's what that says. Beep whoop. This one.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
This one is like a shield regen, and this one must be. I think this will be like a fortress or a barrier that you put up in front of you. and then this one says O2. So you have all these extra little things. Has anybody looked at this stuff? Anybody looked at what any of these things might be?
Not too closely, no. Besides the obvious, I think, O2 is your oxygen level, and the red, maybe that's like is that a battery, or is that more in the shape of an eye?
That's the shape of an eye. I think it's red because it's saying you are not in stealth.
Oh, maybe.
So if you're in stealth, that will be not red. So I think when it goes red, it's saying everybody can see you. And I think there is going to be quite a lot of stealth. I'm just making this up right now, guys, because I've just looked at it right now. I haven't prepared this. I'm just looking at it right now.
Yeah, right. No, that's awesome. I haven't thought of it.
So this little stealth thing, I think it's going to be something to do with. That's going to be some kind of stealth thing. I think this is a temperature thing. It could be anything, really. I don't know what the hell it could be. But it looks like a temperature thing. Might be if you try and, like, vent your heat or something. If I don't know. I have no idea. This little thing here, that is a double jump. That's got to be a double jump. It's like a whoop, whoop. That's a double jump.
Yeah, it'll be a jetpack boost. Or
jetpack or something. This thing is something to do with like a shield reboost. And this thing here just looks like you might be able to deploy a force field or something in front of you. Again, I'm just making all of those assumptions up. And maybe I wouldn't even know how you would click into these if you're playing this with a mouse. You can see me moving the mouse around. So if I'm on my WASD and I'm moving around, I use the mouse to turn left and right. It's going to be very different, especially as well if you're playing VR, Alan. That's going to be, whoa, crazy. And how, you're going to have some setup or work out how you're going to move around with your HOTAS setup. So it's...
Yeah, about that. So what we do know is that after the transition completes, or maybe even before or during it completes from disembarking off your vessel, is that it's basically you can keep your headset on, which is great. That like kept me in it. Is that you can keep your headset on, and then there'll be basically like a monitor projection on the inside. So it'll be like you're looking at a monitor with your headset on. So it'll be two-dimensional technically. And so I imagine is basically you could feel around. Like if you have your keyboard between your HOTAS and you're used to just the distance you have to move your hands, if you're going to type something in between flying around,
I think
it won't be too tough. I think it might actually be. And if you have your mouse between your HOTAS, or like between your throttle or your stick, and then if you do the transition and all of a sudden you're in first person, you got your space legs, you can just slide your hand down right to the mouse. And if that's going to be how you control your mouse view or like mouse looking, and then maybe your left hand goes right to the keyboard that you have there too. So I think after I kind of thought about it, it didn't seem like it would be too much of a pain at all, at least for the time being. I think it's a good workaround.
No, that's cool. Well, that's good. That's good. Right, let's keep on. Let's get the guys in. I did want to just say, obviously, this little bit of side HUD over here. We've got obviously Commander Hermes. He has a plus on him, which to me tells me he is a medic of some description, and he has this medic thing on his HUD here, and it says off. This guy, Commander Searchy, he has like a shield icon. So I think he's going to be like a tank or whatever type. And I think that's how they're going to do the combat suits. So I think it's going to... Obviously, any FPS, we all know what FPSs are. You run FPSs in a way, or even a third person, it doesn't matter. You have a DPS, you have somebody pumping damage, you have somebody healing, you have somebody taking all the damage, and what's the other one? Long range, but it's all DPS as well. It doesn't really matter. So you have these different class abilities essentially, and it's sort of it's not bringing Elite Dangerous into the realms of World of Warcraft. But I'm just saying, if you've got somebody who is a healer, and you have somebody who is a tank, and you have somebody who is a DPS, so that's probably a gun icon. It ain't too far away. But do you know what I mean? That is, you know, these are tried
Is that
and
something
tested.
positive for you?
Yeah, I don't care. It's fine. These are tried and tested methodologies of playing FPS games. You have, even if you're playing Call of Duty, you have people who are campers, you have people who are snipers, you have people who are run and gunners, you have people who are trappers. Do you know what I mean? You have all these different ways of playing the game, and in order to maximize your winning, your win streak, maximize your success, you can't have a team of 6 DPS people. You're not going to win, you know, because as soon as
you can.
As soon as somebody dies, you're on a nightmare. You know, it's no good. So I just saw that as well, and I thought that was kind of interesting. Nice to see as well that this guy is the one who's got the ship here, and nice as well that it's just any ship is a Cobra. I kind of like that. Everything else up here is good. It's actually, I think this sort of HUD here, when even in your SRV. This HUD should be on your SRV. I don't know why this isn't already in your SRV. The temperature, whether it's in Kelvin or whether it's in fucking Fredericks, I don't care. But the gravity, but the actual bearing, without having to look down here or wherever it is, and also the longitude and latitude up here, other than being down here in the strange, permanently orange garb that we are forced to look at unless you change it yourself. That's just my ideas on it. But let's get it. Let's keep going. Let's see how we go.
We go in and try and stay quiet, not draw too much attention to ourselves. If you do get stopped by a guard, we are clean at the minute, so let them just scan you and move on. But we'll try and avoid that.
All right.
You ready to go, Cersei?
Sure. Let's go take them offline.
Alright guys, we know your roles, you know what you got to do. If you make your way down the middle, it should be a pretty short run. I'll keep eyes on for a little while guys, but then I'll make my way to the rendezvous.
Right, let's move up.
How are we looking?
You've got some skimmers, some guards, but they all seem to be moving away from you, so you should be...
What I will say, if anybody wants me to stop the video, please just shout, and I'll stop the video and you can say what you want to say. Okay.
Clear.
Thanks, Hermes. Alright, let's stay as far away from the guards as we can.
So where are you? Where's the last place you stopped? Because I think, unfortunately, I've got some high latency.
Oh no, we're now just looking at a brick wall. Check us. I'm sure you'll get us up to a brick wall. We're just
there's a slight delay on the stream, so we're a little bit behind.
Yes, so me talking on the stream, there is that's a bit weird, but if you're watching it, you'll just have to kind of work it out. It's all right. Are you there, Al? We're just sort of looking at a concrete block.
Is Alan still there?
I think he's all right. I'm not sure. Bounce, are you there? Is everything all right with you?
I'm here.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Right, I'm going to carry on. Although, what I will say, just go back here. What's interesting about this is what I like about this.
How are we looking?
Is
You've got some skimmers, some guards, but they all seem to be moving away from you, so you should be clear.
Thanks, Hermes.
I know it's so easy, but it's the shadows of the skimmers above, and how when the skimmer moves and the shadow is correctly displayed down on the floor. I thought that's a really nice touch, a neat touch. I mean, I guess you would imagine that is just basic gameplay, that it should be in every game, but I'm not sure if it is. I don't know. Did anybody else pick up on that? I liked it. I thought it was good.
Well, usually shadows take quite a GPU hit to actually to render properly. So I should imagine they're probably running this on something very high end.
Well, even to make that shadow work?
Yeah.
You reckon?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Let's stay as far away from the guards as we can.
Probably got a lot of ray tracing going on as well, so yes.
Looks like you guys are this from here. I'm gonna make my way to the rendezvous point.
I mean, there's quite a lot to say about how these guys are actually conducting this mission and how nobody knows that they're here, obviously, since that spaceship has just flown right over the top of the entire thing. But I mean, I guess we don't really need to talk about the what's the word, like the level 0 of the AI that is obviously present.
Yeah, the one thing I didn't quite get was why he took off.
Well, why did he? I don't. Yeah, I mean, he didn't have to. I think this whole
Sham if you need me.
part.
All right,
is
see you later,
more,
Hermes.
See you on the other side, son. Right after you.
I think
How's it looking around there?
that is more about storytelling. That's more narrative than it is.
I also think it has something to
anything
do
else.
with the core mission, the power core. Actually,
Why?
because they talked about the base having pretty hefty anti-air defenses, and once they break into this core, the whole base will go hostile.
Go red,
they'll
yeah.
need to disable it before he can then return and provide support.
Although he doesn't really provide support, does he? I mean,
No.
don't get me wrong. I don't disagree with you. I think that's great. And even in the game now, when you stray into a trespass zone and the big turrets come out, they start hitting you in your ship. You're like, whoa, hold on a minute, what? Because you can't shoot them in your ship. That's, they're ground targets. You can't you can't actually retaliate. You've just got to get out of there. Yeah, that's interesting, actually. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. I do remember them saying it and him saying it, but it didn't really. I don't know if they made enough of it in this video for me to clock properly. But I don't think you're wrong. But I also like on the HUD at the top, it says the ship is 2.02 kilometers that way, which is kind of cool. That's good, to know where other people, other assets are in the game. I like that.
Side looks good, actually. Walkway is clear.
Okay. Right, push up.
Yeah, let's go.
I actually... Oh, bloody hell. That's not what I wanted to do. I actually... I don't like the way this...
How's it looking
this
around there?
progresses.
This side looks good, actually. Walkway is clear.
Okay.
I don't...
Push up.
Yeah, let's go.
I don't know why, but there's something strange to me about whether it's the field of view they've got, but the first person element, it doesn't feel right. It just doesn't. Just if you watch them walking here, it just doesn't.
Okay. Right, push up.
Yeah, let's go.
So,
No.
are you thinking maybe it's too stiff?
Yeah,
oh, sorry,
it's
go ahead.
very stiff. It just feels. I mean, it is what it is. You can't not. If you make a game and you have an asset within a game, which is a character, and you can change the camera view from being first person, third person to whatever, it is what it is. But it just feels Hey, Mr. V, nice to have you back. But it's just not. It feels just. I don't know if the word's clunky, but I don't want it to be like you can sprint and run at 100 miles an hour, and there is a level of realism. It just, I don't know. It just didn't. Let me go
Way's
back.
clear.
It just
Okay.
doesn't.
Right, push up.
Yeah, let's go.
I don't know. It just feels that particular movement felt weird, and if I carry on watching it, and I'm not going to comment on it anymore because it's the same through all the thing, it just felt, it doesn't feel fluid enough. And I'm not saying like a camera bob as you're running, which if they're trying to go for realism, maybe they should put in, but it's, I don't know. What do you guys think about it? It just, let me show you a bit more.
I see two
It does
personnel
feel a
over
little
the other side,
but
just outside the
this is
airlock.
half of it, so
Say again, Spanks.
it does feel a little bit wooden. I mean, but this is an early alpha, so I think you've got to take that with a pinch of salt. I think.
No, totally. I totally agree. Anybody else?
Yeah, I think that's a given. Definitely. I think I share in sort of what you're feeling, that you can't quite put your finger on, a kind of stiffness to it, a kind of artificial feel, a little bit almost sticky too. And I think for me, it helps to imagine that they're in spacesuits, and I don't know whether or not gravity is actually going to affect things like movement speed, but that might play a role in the actual alpha or in the full release.
Yeah.
So you might feel heavier or lighter, and that might actually be what we're missing here in the example.
Which is cool. I mean, I seriously, I get that.
Maybe.
I totally get that. But if you look at the two people that we can see on the screen right now, and in fact, there's two people. There's two people in front of us looking like they're having a romantic encounter, and then you've got the person over in the left, in the black, who's just walking away. They don't look particularly hampered in their getup or garb.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
yeah.
so I mean, particularly Ricardo Gentry, he looks like, he looks like a cowboy essentially. So I get it, I totally get it, but we're also, there isn't a correlation because this is cut together and this is alpha, and I get it. But this is half gravity of the world we're on right now, where we are actually sitting talking to each other.
Right,
so do you know what I mean? There doesn't seem to be enough. How do I say this without being really? There doesn't seem to be enough long-term understanding of the effect of half gravity on people on this planetary surface. You're expecting this planetary surface to have gravity, which it does. It has half the level of gravity that we have on this planet. So, okay, you wouldn't imagine then it to be too difficult to run quicker across the road than what we would do in normal circumstance. I'm just saying.
Or float.
Do you know what I mean?
Glide.
People are gonna pick up on this stuff, and they will pick up on it, and they will properly pick up on it. So it's all good and well.
That would definitely be a big pain point for me too if it stayed that way.
It's all good and well to have. But we're on the ground and we're walking around doing these different things. Great, and we will see in 10 days' time, but. This is half G world. I don't know. There are just a couple of things that strike out at me, and I think I don't want this to be another game that's made by developers who don't play the game. I hope
I'm with you.
That isn't the case. Do you know what I mean? Right. Or it's not. It just developers that don't understand reality and physics, if in as much as what they tell us the reason why you have to wait 20 minutes to get from this point to this point, because that's how far away it is. And if I have to swallow that, then they have to swallow the fact that if we're on a world that is half the gravity of the world we're on, we should be able to do things pretty fucking quick. Anyway,
so as a serious question, if that value for gravity was different, or if it wasn't even there, would you feel like everything was good? Was actually
no, I think if that gravity had a 1 in front of it, and it was not 10.4, but if it had a 1.5, I would go, hey, I can get this. I understand why it feels so lethargic. And feels so slow. Do you know what I mean, though? And it feels so kind of ponderous and weird. And then you kind of look at it and you think, well, why are they telling us it's a half G what? Maybe there is no correlation. Maybe they put that HUD up on the top afterwards. But also, guys, look, can you see just on this little screen that we've stopped there?
I think this was talked about in Super Cruise News too a couple weeks ago.
What, this thing up here in the top right, top left, where the scanner is? We've got the scanner, and then you've got very faint icons of like the Libra sign. Maybe the infinity sign, and then there's like 3 like venting heat signs. Do you see that just off the scanner?
Yes, I do see them. Yeah,
That's strange, isn't it? I've not seen that before.
Oh, yeah.
probably over encumbered, overheated, and something else.
Oh yeah.
Oh, maybe those are balances. Like those are scales, like for
Yes.
law.
Yeah,
Justice.
That is the law. That is definitely the law sign. Yeah, you're right, Al. Yeah. The other one, what is that? That's like.
Oh, that's wild.
That's cool. And then you've got the venting, overheating one probably as well. So that's
Maybe
kind
that
of cool.
means, oh yeah, damage. Maybe your suit's taking environmental damage or something.
So anyway,
yeah.
look, it's very interesting. Look, also, we're not going to talk about the fact that all of the AI are terrible. We're not going to talk about
yeah, please.
all of the
Please no.
all of the AI are level 1.
We all get that. Yeah.
Nobody sees them coming. Nobody sees anything, and they, even though they like to play it up that they're actually doing this impossible mission, it clearly is not an impossible mission. But you'll see as we carry on through just some of the normal walking, and maybe it's because they aren't holding shift and they're not sprinting, but it feels ponderous, and it feels ponderous maybe because they are just simply walking. Could be, might be what it is.
Oh yeah, I see them.
Okay, we have some medical supplies here in case we need them.
Okay.
But she was definitely running then.
Okay, moving up.
Look at her running like a side
I've
striker.
got a guard across, walking past the habitation building.
What is that guy wearing?
And I've got eyes on the power building. We okay to move up?
Yeah, let's move across to the command center.
Cool.
Walkway to the left is clear.
Right, on your mark.
Okay, let's go for it.
Again, guys, if you want me to stop the video, you tell me.
All right,
I
guys,
don't
we're in
think it'll
position.
help. It's I think I'm a good 10 seconds behind.
Yeah, same here. It's
Okay.
too far behind for me to keep up.
Okay, well,
I completely blame YouTube.
yeah, me
Absolutely
too.
blame YouTube.
I went behind the ridgeline, shouting.
We just stood by the power building. The reason why I said it was, they're like, oh yeah, let's move up to the command building. Let's go and do this, that, and the other. I like the way that the guys are playing the mission out. Okay,
Definitely.
I like the kind of narrative, and I like all of that kind of stuff. But you and I and everybody know that if you're doing this mission, you ain't going to be doing hide. It's not like Indiana Jones. You aren't going to be doing that. You will be cheesing it as best you can. You'll cheese the shit out of it, and you will crash your ship in the middle of this place. You'll jump out. Somebody will rocket launcher open a door. You'll get what you need, and you will fuck off. And that is it. And then, that is how you will. That is how you will do it. Unless there is a particular element that says, "Do not get seen." Keep it secret.
Right.
Keep it secret.
I am
keep it
interested
safe.
in stealth, too.
I'm totally interested in stealth, but in stealth.
very
I'm
much.
totally interested in myself. I'm totally interested in stealth, but it's as long as there are the mechanics within the game that allow the stealth to work. And I don't think it's going to be, if you stay in the shadows, they're not going to see you, or however it might work. But
have you seen the device that was released recently?
The
I
arc
think
cutter.
there are 4 new tools. It's an electrical device. Spanx, Bouncy, did you guys see that at all on Community for Elite Dangerous?
I
Recently?
saw something put up. There was a genetic scanner or something like that.
there's the genetic scanner, the profile analyzer, right? The R cutter, and then there was one that could do something or deliver like an electrical charge over a short distance. And that,
Ooh.
I think, is going to be the stealth weapon. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, like a sneak attack or a backstab kind of mechanic.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at the backstab mechanic. I like it.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
So what was it called? What was it? Was it called like a?
I'm trying to find out.
I can't. I missed that one.
They just, I think they just got all 4 of them up too recently.
Well, let's carry on. While if you grab that, Al, that'd be great.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, sounds good.
Need me.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, I'd imagine that some of these buildings they'd have to cut the power to be able to actually
pushing
get
forward.
inside. So that
Yeah, it looks like
brings
we've got a clean path
a
all the
new
way
scope
to the
some
power
of the
building.
missions that you'll be able to pick up.
I'm sprinting
I
over.
would imagine. Because one of the things Elite does suffer with
Okay, I'm at
is
the door.
the lack of mission scope that you get.
I'm just looking through the door now, and I see 2 workers.
I like this part. I especially like this bit when he's looking through the door and he's like, well, I mean, it's cool. It's kind of, they're trying to give you as much information about what you might be doing as possible. But if you're playing this type of mission in a real FPS or even a third person, you wouldn't be going, okay, Spanx, I'm looking through the door. I'm looking through the window. Pretty certain they can't see me because they're looking the other way. I can see 2 people. We're probably going to have to kill them. Okay, right, open the door. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen like that. That is not how you are gonna. It's not
the corner shoot.
It's not how you are going to want to play the game. It's just strange that and that's the other thing that I really did. I didn't dislike it, but irked me about this whole video is you've got these 3 in fact English blokes, and they're just like, okay, chap, right, what we're going to do is we're going to go, okay, hold on, I'm at the window, right, I'm looking through the window, there are 2 people, I'm going to have to put them down, John, don't want to do it, but I'm going to have to do it, I'm going to have to put them down, John. And it's like, come on, fucking open the door and shoot them. What the hell is this?
Yep.
This is stupid. Can you see them? Yeah, okay. Are you clear? Yeah. Don't Brian, everybody's on 1 AI. Okay, fine. Yeah, but can you see them? Can anybody see us? Can everybody see? Go on. Oh, I'm sprinting. I'm sure you don't have to sprint. You could probably crawl. You could probably actually ghillie crawl on the floor. It's just I found it quite funny. I found it quite funny. But they were obviously told to describe everything that they were doing as a player. Imagine you're the player. But what's my motivation, man? What's my motivation? Okay, you are the player, so you have to describe everything that you see, everything that you do. Okay, I'm walking across the road. Okay, I'm coming up to the door, Brian. Brian, are you at the door? Okay, I'm near the door, John. Okay, I'm at the door, Brian. And I kind of thought, oh God, it didn't make. There were different ways of doing it. Anyway,
I got cringy. Yeah.
Just carry on.
A little bit
Be
too
aware
on.
you do have some security services running combat air patrol over
It's
this
energy
installation.
link, by the way.
I've got a Viper and a Vulture.
Copy that.
Right, could you cover me while I just cut the maintenance panel, please?
And this bit where he's like, "Can you cover me? Can you cover me while I cut this maintenance panel?" And the other guy's like going, "What the fuck, John? There's nobody here. What the fuck are you talking about? Cover you with what? Cover you with fucking praise? What do you want me to do?"
Alright.
And there's another maintenance panel that
Now.
outside the door that you can.
Yeah, looks like we're clear. Let's get in and out pretty quick.
Even after all these years, they still haven't figured out how to.
Panel is cut. Panel's down.
Exactly. How can we stop people from getting in? Why don't we put the way they can get in on the outside of the door?
Switching to the energy link.
Oh, that was it. Switching to the energy link. Is that what you were talking about, Al? The energy link. Al? Hello, Dave. Dave.
You see, when he was using that tool,
Okay,
one of
right, I'm
the
gonna
items
overload
was
the,
up in
the airlock.
bottom left-hand corner of
Look
the
after me.
screen.
Okay.
Oh, can we rewind that?
I know.
Overloading in 3, 2, 1.
So there he goes. That's him using, I think, that thing that you were talking about, Al, the energy link.
Energy.
There it is. And we've caught it there so we can see. Oh, hold on. Can you see now in that top left? We can see there are more icons. There are at least 2 more icons coming down from where the heat thing is. There's another one that I can't see, and then there's another one that may say O2. So I think there's going to be quite a lot of HUD stuff going on. There's a lot of HUD. But I like this energy link overload thing. And there is the scanner. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. So look, here is the energy links icon. Here it is, down in the bottom right. And here it is, down on your little sign, down in the bottom left. It's there. There's your energy link. And there is your energy link. It's the same symbol. Illegal. There you go. We're piecing things together, ladies and gentlemen. Piecing it all together.
Yeah, the worker's gonna have to go. I can't do what I need to do with them in there.
Alright.
I'm gonna take them out.
Where was
just
it on the
love
bottom left?
So down here, you see down here, Al, where we were looking at the eyeball and the temperature and the double jump.
It looks like it looks like the lightning bolt inside the circle.
That little lightning bolt inside the circle was the same. If we go back,
He's used up
See?
these suits charged
There you
to.
it's the same. Essentially, it's the same as this symbol for the energy link down in the bottom right here.
Okay, cool. All right, piecing it together.
Yeah, that is a bit annoying, actually. Not anything you guys have done. When we do these streams, I'm gonna have to try and put the stream onto lowest latency. So normally I just leave it on normal latency because I'm the only one talking. That's fine. And you guys are all just like on the chat and that. So okay, that's interesting. I'll make sure I do that. So yeah, that symbol, the overloading symbol, is the same as this one down here, and I'm sure there'll be one up here somewhere. But let's see what we're getting on. What I have to say, what I do remember is this guy goes, okay, there are 2 people in here. I can't do what I need to do with these 2 people in here. And the other guy goes, okay. And the other guy goes, I'm going to take him out.
Yeah, the worker's gonna have to go. I can't do what I need to do with them in there.
Alright.
I'm gonna take them out.
Dead.
That's one worker down.
Fatima dead. Dead.
That's 2 workers down. Okay, right, they're done.
Okay, nicely done. We haven't alerted anyone outside yet.
That's
Excellent.
because they're all on AI level -10. Minus
I'm gonna
100
hack into the
Kelvin.
reactor now. Applying E-breach now. E-breach applied. Almost in. Keep an eye out for me.
Alright.
Right, okay, I'm in. So I'm getting ready to disengage the regulator.
So what do you think? What do you think about this this type of activity? Go in somewhere, disengage something, wait for something to pop out, leave, all that kind of stuff. What are you thinking? What are your thoughts?
This they're calling this heist. This kind of mission type in particular.
Yeah, just in you go.
I think it's kind of groovy.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think
team based definitely.
Team based stuff I think is better. I hope that they have the wherewithal to implement. If you have a wing mission, that you implement certain mechanics within the mission that you can only achieve with 2, 3, or 4 people. You have to have. There is no way of doing it other than being really good. Like if you imagine leapfrogging, one person does the first bit, then they run past the second person to do the next. that's kind of cool. Even if they
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a complete change for Elite, I think, because Elite is a lot of a loner type game.
Yeah,
and
definitely. Yeah,
This
Can
is
be,
definitely going to bring in the play with friends and co-op. So yeah, I think it is going to be a complete game changer. Just means you have to make more friends as well, which
well,
which
you
is going to
make
be interesting.
what was that? You make more friends playing the game.
Well, I don't know about making more friends, but you'll have to make more friends to get on
More
with
interactions.
missions. Yes.
Yeah, I think.
You know,
Go on, Al. Yeah.
I was going to say, you guys remember the Frontline something back in the early days when they were starting to spoil some stuff, and the idea there was that that would be your sort of your one stop to get to large scale, full on battles, PvP and PvE battles, like a conflict zone but on the ground. And I'm wondering if Frontline also did something where you can lobby, wait for other commanders, human commanders, for a particular mission
Yeah.
that you pick up somewhere. I almost wonder. Maybe that's a little too much, but
There will have to be some kind of matchmaking element. Sorry, I should say, Last Steak. Good evening. Sorry, man. So you've been watching us for a while now, and I've not even said anything. It's so difficult to focus on the chat because I can't see it pop up on my screen. I've got to sort of look at it down here. And Tom as well. Good evening, my friend. How you doing? I think the matchmaking thing, they will have to change. They might even have to change. I don't think it will be viable for them to run the 3 different groups that they have at the minute, the open, the private group, and the solo. I don't think it will work. They might have to put some kind of matchmaking in, even if you're playing solo kind of thing. It's a strange one. Because I think there will be.
maybe it'll be something more like. Yeah, maybe it'll be a little smoother than that. Yeah.
No, I think there will be elements of the game that will take more than one person. But it's a strange one as well because Elite as a base game has always been based on the fact that you blaze your own trail. You can just be one person in a spaceship and you can do everything that anyone else can do, whether they're playing with 100 people or no people. You should be able to do everything on your own. And I think they're going to find that quite difficult. I know there was quite a lot of talk about new players don't even have to buy a ship. They can just play the game on foot. And
Yes,
to me,
I've heard
that it kept coming up and people kept saying it. And I was like, what drugs are you taking? What the fuck are you talking about? That's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. You cannot play the game without being in a spaceship. That's the whole game is being in a spaceship. Okay, that's what it is. And now we've got this extra part where you don't have to be in the spaceship. You aren't going to get a taxi from here to the Pleiades. You know, I don't get it. I mean, am I wrong? What do you think about that? I mean, I think that's nonsense.
I just think they say that you have the possibility to play the game without ever owning a ship. You can do that, but who would, you know?
But how can you? Well, you could play the game.
Exploration.
No. I mean, Bouncy's not wrong. Bouncy's not wrong. You know, technically speaking, you could play the game without ever owning a ship. But why would you play a space game? What you might as well just buy Farming Simulator or Goat Simulator or whatever you want. It doesn't make any difference. Why would you do that? Does anybody?
It does seem a bit bizarre that you might take on a data mission and you'd then book passage on a ship to take you to that place. It does seem a bit bizarre. Because surely you would have your sidewinder at the very least and get you from point A to point B.
Well, you start with the sidewinder, absolutely. Last Stake saying, how long has Frontier been working on Odyssey? I don't know, but they think they'd have Fade to Black going into and out of the ship thing of the past. Yeah, I mean, he's right. That in and out of the ship thing. He's not wrong. I just don't. I can't understand why somebody will say you can buy Elite Dangerous Odyssey and never have to get into a spaceship. It just is. I don't get it. It's like saying you can buy a McLaren F1 and you can just polish the gear knob every day. What's the point in that? What is the point?
Well, is it taking anything away from the game, though? I mean, or is it just maybe a challenge?
Well, but hold on. The game... Am I getting this totally wrong? The game that we have all spent thousands of hours playing is based around being in spaceships, flying around to different places, upgrading those spaceships, and
yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? So
right, it's about
to then say you don't need to be ever buy a spaceship to play the game, to me is almost like a bit of a punch in the gut. I'm like, well, hold on a minute. I've been doing this for years.
Oh, really?
What? But do you know what I mean? It's like, well, how can you say? How can you say you can play the game without flying a spaceship?
I think they were saying that more as sort of like we put a lot of work into the first person aspect, so much that it could pretty much be its own game. I think maybe that's what they wanted to say with that, as opposed to suggest that as an actual way to play.
I tell you what, Mr. V,
because it is kind of a stretch. It's tough.
I seriously fucking hope you're right. in what you're saying with they think they've put a lot into the FPS version of the game. We're only a little bit through the footage of what we're looking at, but from what I've seen from the gameplay video that we're looking through, I don't think they have put the last 2 years worth of their development resource into this.
You're absolutely right.
I hope they haven't.
I'm with you.
I seriously hope they haven't.
You definitely want more. That's what I'm feeling. Yeah, this seems like it's a tiny snapshot of a very specific thing.
Definitely. And I don't mean to fixate on the whole thing about you can play the game. I like what they're saying. What they're saying is you don't have to.
Yeah, right on.
You don't have to get into a spaceship and play. You could, if you want, play the game totally on foot, which, that's an interesting idea. If they allowed us separate saves, maybe people would try doing it. But it's I don't know. It's a strange one. Let's carry on.
The alarm's going to go off. You ready?
Yep, let's do it.
Sweet. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, the core's shutting down.
I'm guessing at some point they
the base is
have
alerted.
Space stations as social hubs. So in order to kick off these missions, you might have to all meet up in the same social space.
Oh, that has definitely been confirmed.
Yeah, I mean, you were saying
watching the plane or the ships come in. Yeah,
both you and Bouncy were saying that it's going to happen, isn't it? From the beginning, I think from the alpha. In fact, I think next week we should be able to,
let's meet up.
We should be able to see that. Bouncy, you've got the alpha pre-order, yeah?
Yeah, I'm ready and waiting.
Me too. So have you, AV. Yeah, you've got it.
Got it. Yeah.
Spanx, you haven't got it because you do not pre-order.
No, I'll see what people say when it drops.
I love it.
Spanx, you're killing us.
They're coming for us now.
Too reasonable.
Let's get ready.
All right, hold on. We're just about to get to the point where these guys are gonna leave where they're going. And I know you guys are listening to me, but the footage is a little bit behind. So let's push this forward. Tom is saying you may get someone that doesn't, and it caters for them. Some people like us will keep playing with ships, but people bought Star Citizen, and you can't really play that. Yeah, interesting. But, well, maybe, Tom. But I think the thing with Star Citizen is it's pretty much well understood, isn't it? That it's almost like I don't think it's ever going to be a playable application that you can run and actually get enjoyment out of. I don't think it's going to be something that you can play. Even I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's been a terrible nightmare, and I feel so bad for the players. I want them to have their awesome space game, you know. But Cloud Imperium just recently decided to like rename what their entire Star Citizen platform is, and it's not a beta anymore, or an alpha. It's something like it's an actively, you know, playable part of a game or something like that. They switch the language around to have it so they can try and avoid having their fundraising be considered revenue, so they won't be taxed.
Well, absolutely, because they need to. Because otherwise, if they were taxed on it, then the whole thing would fold. It would go totally. But it's
so terrible. Yeah,
it's interesting because I backed that years ago, the same time as I backed this, actually, about 2013-14, and I thought, great.
Yeah,
I love Chris
beautiful.
Roberts.
Yeah.
I love Chris Roberts. He's an English guy. You know, English guy from Manchester. He created Wing Commander. You know, he did Freelancer as well. Awesome. You know, so he did some good stuff. And I always felt he had an element of integrity to him. And then when I was like, yeah, okay, Star Citizen's going. He's got Gary Oldman, like Mark Strong as well. Loads of different people doing all this mocap stuff. I was like, wow, this is cool. But he had a relationship with... and also he had Mark Hamill doing it as well, Luke Skywalker doing it. So, but he had a relationship with him from the Wing Commander days, and I was like, "This is going to fly. This is going to fly." And then I was like, "Hold on, okay." So, but before they release the game, he's going to release a single-player campaign called Squadron 42. Oh, who's going to run that? Oh, it's his brother out of a studio from Manchester. Okay, well that's interesting.
Yep.
Has Squadron 42 ever come out? Has it? Fuck. And Aaron Roberts, his brother, it's not good. The whole thing is a total crock of shit. I don't know. I think maybe it was you, Bouncy. It might not have been you. I might be putting words in your mouth, but we were talking about it, and somebody said it's the biggest Ponzi scheme in the world. It's just... give us money, you'll never get it back. But the more money you give us, the more money other people will give us on the hope that something will happen. That game is never coming out, ever. In a playable way. You know, like Elite Dangerous is playable now. And there was always that rivalry between the Elite Dangerous and the Star Citizen fanboys. And it was just like, you guys, wow.
For what, right? Yeah.
And I paid a huge amount of money, man. I must have paid 200 quid, maybe, almost as much as I paid for this.
So, yeah,
and I've got all these ships sitting in a hangar that I can never look at, and every time I turn it on, my face comes out the side of a bulkhead, and I'm just like, go fuck yourself. This is shit. Anyway,
that's fine.
Anyway,
I wanted it to be good.
I wanted it to work. I wanted it to be good. You know, I wanted it to be good, but it is what it is. Right. Anyway, let's carry on. Oh, Dark Voiders is back as well. Dark Voiders, welcome back. Let's carry on.
Reactor shutdown protocol has been initiated.
Well, there's some med kits in here if you want them as well.
Shutdown in T-minus 60
Okay,
seconds.
guards are coming our way. We have 3 guards. Make that 4 closing.
I got to stop it. And I said I wasn't going to take the mic, but I am going to take the mic because it's just, I don't know. It's just like,
What they do?
Well, you'll get to it when it comes. It's just like, oh, okay. Look, the guards are coming, and then you go outside, and there are 3 guards, and the guards are like, "Hello, would you like a massage? Oh, excuse me, would you like?" And you're like, "What the fuck is this? What is this?" And it just doesn't sort of sit well. But the main thing about what we've been watching is what we've missed, which was the actual kind of gameplay element of opening up the door, shooting the civilians inside, and stealing the reactor core and doing all that stuff. So it's
on us now.
This is just one.
You're going to take most of the shots as well because my suit's not designed for it.
Although, let's talk about the guns. What do you think about the guns? What do you think about the gun mechanic? You can see the guns going off. What? I kind of like it.
Remember, we can use the airlock as cover if you need to.
Alright.
Cersei, how long are we looking for this regulator?
Okay, regulator is about 40% done.
Yeah, I'm on board. The rifle look very sleek. And these are just the energy weapons, too.
Yeah, definitely.
These are just the energy weapons.
We are
I think they look very sleek. They look Imperial, too. I'm wondering if they're going to have...
No, keep going. I was laughing at Dominic Sharp. Watch Dominic Sharp walk past here. He is the least sharp Dominic Sharp I've ever seen. He is the dullest Dominic Sharp ever. He just runs past.
We are 3/4 of the way done. I'd get those engines warmed up as well.
Yeah, I'm on standby, ready when you are.
Okay, we're going to have to be quick to make a move because they're
look, Dominic, do you see that? Dominic Sharp goes past twice. That's brilliant. I didn't even notice that.
Okay, we're going to have to be quick to make a move because
Dominic Sharp.
They're really piling up outside now. I'm going to make my way back in.
Reactor shut down in 10 seconds.
Okay, they've got me back into the power room now.
Here we go. Stanton Morris.
Okay, core is venting.
Here we go. What we get? We've got a bounty going on there. That's interesting. So we can now actually have a look at what's going on.
Oh, did you see that? Human lives are still less valuable than breaking into a...
100%. So now we can see the scanner up in the top left. The what's it called? The legal. What's it called? Legal and General. What's it called? No, it's not Legal and General. Spanks, is it? What's it called? Justice and.
Well, it'll be wanted level, I would imagine.
Yeah, but they call it something, don't they? Crime and punishment. Crime and punishment icon in the top left has popped up, and it says open the top right. Bounty gained.
Oh yeah, there it is.
250 creds for the murder of Stanton Morris. No way could they get Dominic Sharp. He is too good. He will not be killed. He is he is too good. And down in the bottom corner, you can see another little thing that's popped up is the 16 and the two little. It looks like two little speech, like telephone speech bubble type things. So it looks like they've had 16 like communication messages pop in. So it's interesting to see what type of stuff could be happening when you're playing the game, and it's cool. So you will be getting like comms messages come through, like those 16 down in the bottom left. That's happening. It's telling you up the top right that you've got a bounty gained. Now you have an indicator on your scanner that says you are now flagged for crime and punishment, and obviously whoever that person is on that scanner is gone red as well. So that's kind of cool. It's the way that the underlying game mechanics work. That works correct. The way that the game works, they've got working well. Just hopefully they can make it a little bit more, I don't know, in my opinion, engaging, and definitely not the same, because as you said earlier on today, Mr. V, that it's the first time you'd ever done a black box mission. The first time you've ever done a black box mission is every black box mission you've ever done. So you don't need to do any more black box missions because they're all the same. So, as long as there is some kind of, I don't know, what do I want? I want some kind of vibrancy and some kind of, like not chaos, but I want some kind of differentials going on, that things are different and things are interesting and it makes you want to do it. That's what I want. Otherwise, I am not going to be running around on foot, because I want to play Elite Dangerous and I want to go and do the community goal, shuffling back and forth, dropping off, animal meat or whatever it is. Does that make sense? Or does anybody?
It does. I mean,
do you know what I mean?
I mean, there'd have to be a big enough reward to take on the risk of these. So yeah, I would. It's going to take a bit of balancing. I would have thought.
What I don't want to see is this come out and there be like a huge swell of people playing around, running around, and then everybody going, do you know what? I'd rather just fly the ship, because do you know what? I've been flying in this ship for 7 years. I know what I'm doing. I can do everything I want to do much quicker. I can make money much quicker. I can do everything I want to do much, much quicker. Why would I bother doing this stuff when it's like Johnny No Eyes, nobody can shoot me? And that, I just don't want it to be like that. And I don't think it will. I really hope
definitely
it won't. But
I'm completely confident it won't. This is a small part. This is a very small part of what the larger game's going to be. I mean, this is just one way to do this particular heist mission and this particular planet of this type.
Totally.
The Rocky Icy in this system, in this part of the galaxy, wherever that may be, close or not close to the bubble, and with a certain reputation that they had when they first came in and things like that. I mean, we haven't even seen the genetic scanner in action yet, besides that one, 2 seconds early on. I mean, there's exploration that has not even been touched at all, or trading, or anything like that, or how the new mechanics of being able to go into these social places. Like, we haven't even seen just going in and sitting down with another human commander and just like shooting the shit or something.
I know, but that's cool. I mean,
it's so much they could
that
show.
is cool. But that isn't a game.
So much more. No, that's a feature. Right. That would that'd be a cool.
That isn't a
immersion
$30 upgrade of what you're doing. What I think they've got to be very mindful of, FDev, in my opinion, and I don't know how many FPSs you play, but I think all of you know that me and Spanx play, and Tom and other people play Destiny 2 quite a lot. And Destiny 2 is an FPS game, and it is the best FPS game out there at the minute. The story is impeccable. The way it works with other people playing together is impeccable. The way it keeps you playing is good. It doesn't feel overpowering. And the way that the gun mechanics work is stunning. The best, beats any Call of Duty, beats any Medal of Honor, beats any Battlefield. It is absolutely stunning. And I think Frontier are going to have a little bit of a wake-up call when their update of whatever it is. And I hope this isn't the case, but I have a feeling this is my feeling. I think it is going to be very underwhelming, and I hope they prove me wrong, but I cannot see it not being, because it's their own engine, which is fine. There's no problem with that. It's their own engine, and their engine is good. But I just hope there is more to it than the developers going, look, if we don't put space legs in, nobody's going to keep playing the game. That if that's the raison d'etre for them doing what they're doing, I'm like, oh fuck me.
Yeah, I'm not.
It's that is my fear for Odyssey.
I think there's definitely going to be the elite flavor, the Frontier Development's Elite Dangerous flavor on FPS. And you're using Destiny 2 is an awesome example of a really solid, very solid first-person shooter. But to me,
the pinnacle.
That's and to me, so that's pinnacle to you. The pinnacle for me is going to first and always be Quake 3 Arena, but after that would definitely be Doom. Doom would be one of the. I mean, it's going back to the very foundation of what a first-person shooter is. It's kind of the king.
Yeah.
You know, that is the ultimate kind of achievement if you can get. I mean, and for the longest time, first-person shooters, before that term was even coined, were called Doom clones. So it's that's the ultimate pinnacle. But you have something like Destiny, which is very much doing a fantastic job doing it its own way, while still following some basic tenets of being a first-person shooter.
It's following them all. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, AV. It's following all of them, from Doom and from Quake and from all of those games, from Duke Nukem, from all of them. And it's right now it is better than any of the two big other franchises, which is Call of Duty and Battlefield. It just beats them, and it doesn't. Whether it beats, it doesn't beat them so much on the all the fucking crazy hype and blah 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 and blah, 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 all the nonsense. It beats them on the absolute impeccable execution of how all of there are 15 different types of weapon, whether it's a bow or a sidearm or a pistol or a rifle or whatever. How all of those different weapons work. And the different traits that they have, there are 5 different traits: the range, velocity, stability, handling, all these different things, and it works so well. You feel viscerally connected to your character as you are jumping around or shooting, whatever you're doing. And I hope that the guys at FDev have the wherewithal to have looked around at what's going on in the sphere of
I'm with you,
FPS games, and not to go,
pick out the best.
As long as we just put boots on the ground, that'll do it for the minute, and then maybe in 8 months put that to 13 months because of COVID, we can update it. I don't, if that happens, man, I'll be very narked.
I'd be hurt.
I'll be narked.
Honestly,
I'll be narked.
I would be bad. Yeah.
But I think what I think is interesting is they have such a great opportunity with the procedural stuff that they have in place already, with what they do with the planets and what they do with what appears on the planets whenever you go to them, which is different for everybody whenever they turn up at a planet, other than the static permanent bases. They have such an opportunity to really create and allow players to take part in and participate in really interesting, and it doesn't have to be exciting, but it is exciting because you're playing a game. Usually every time you play a game, even if you're not doing much, it's still quite exciting because you're playing a game, obviously. But just really interesting things to do. Otherwise, I can see quickly people not wanting to get out of their ship. They will continue to do what they're doing, and then if they don't improve things like the in-game trade tools and all the quality of life stuff that we all want there to be, then it's going to be bad. That's going to be big bad. And I hope that they understand what they're doing, and they've got their eye on the ball, and they're going to give us a good old surprise and go, you wait and see. Because the stuff that they do, when they bring out their, when they do the seasonal, the Halloween stuff, or when they do like an event, or when they do something, the stuff that the artistic directors and the technical directors and the narrative directors and story directors, what they put out is excellent, and better than anything like Destiny 2 does. Some of that's quite hacked, and some, it's quite hackneyed and quite blah blah blah. It's, and you go and do it, and you listen to it, and you're sat there on the edge of your seat in darkness, listening to this wonderful, log coming through, and the audio is so well done, and you are just totally captivated, and you are there, and you are in it, and you are like, this is why I play this game, man. This is it. This is what I love.
That's a wow factor.
This is it. And I hope that they wow, I'm getting quite emotional about it. I hope that they understand.
It's huge. Yeah.
I hope that they understand what they're doing. Because if they fuck this up, then, I don't think Elite Dangerous is going to be around, really, for a huge amount more time. Because people will just get annoyed with it. You can't have, 10,000 fleet carriers in every system. Something needs to be done with that. There are a couple of things. Do you know what I mean? There are a couple of things.
That's an odd one.
That need to be dealt with.
Absolutely.
But anyway, boys, what are we saying? Anybody else got anything? Bouncy, Spanks? Sorry, I just, me. I'll just literally talk for the rest of my life until I'm dead. Spanks laughs.
Kind of a tangent, so I fell off.
Bounce, did you fall out of the stream?
No, not the stream. I said we kind of went out on a tangent there. So
we did. I know a little bit, yeah. But what are your thoughts? Terrible. I've got a microphone in front of your face, Bouncy. What do you think?
About the FPS aspects, you mean?
Yes, FPS, totally.
I'm not sure what to expect. I don't have any huge expectations to, not get burned. But
that's good.
I don't think it's fair to try to compare Frontier, who has produced 0 FPSs, to Bungie, who has been producing the best FPSs there are for 15 years
point.
now.
Yeah, no, very good point.
But in terms of the FPS in Elite, I'm not sure what to expect. Actually, I haven't seen too much.
Yeah, I mean, you seriously, Bounce, you're not wrong. That they don't have a obviously Bungie made Halo. They've got huge. They know what they're doing with what they're doing, and as I said, Frontier are working within their own engine. And they would have known when they started making this back in 2012. I mean, 2012, that's 10 years ago, essentially. They would have known that this would have been coming. They would have known that this would have been coming. And so it would always have been in the pipeline. What I find interesting from playing, I mean, it's bit different from you, AV, because you've not been playing Elite for a huge amount of time. But the development team, for Frontier has changed quite a lot. It was always a guy called Sandy Samarco, and he was the guy who was the lead designer, and he was the guy who was running it from way back, and he's not there anymore. And
I don't recognize the name.
I don't, and they've changed quite a lot of their community team, and there's been a lot of change within the staff. And, as a human being, I always think, you've got to be wary of a business. Any business it could be a bloody coffee shop. It doesn't make a difference. But if there's a lot of in and out traffic of people working there,
attrition,
you always think, oh, blimey. But if it's on something that has IP in it, and something that has, art direction and sound direction, and a long overarching story of a computer game, which what it is, and the person who designed the game or the lead designer is no longer there, you're like, oh, what's happening? And I also think, since the I think the development of Elite over the past 3 or 4 years has been slower than it has been previously. So I just hope. I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful. But what Bouncy said, he doesn't have a huge. He doesn't want to get burnt with the FPS stuff, and he's totally right. They don't make FPS games, but in all of their games, there is an FPS element. There is an FPS element of Jurassic Evolution. There's an FPS element of the Planet Coaster game as well. So the engine, I'm assuming, is the same, just on a different scale with Elite. But we shall see. We shall see. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't want to be disappointed. Is all. I just don't want to be disappointed.
Definitely, man. I think we're all with you there.
Because it's just, you know what, you spend so much time playing the game, you know what I mean? And
yeah, really,
and doing the same stuff all the time. But that's what a game is. You do that. We all know that. You do that with anything. You do it. And that's cool. That's not a problem. I don't mind that. But I've dialed down my expectations heavily, big time, since this video, and that's just to protect myself.
Reactor shutdown complete.
Regulators should be extending
but
now.
let's put it back
How
on.
much longer do you need?
I'd say another 5 seconds.
I'm starting my approach.
Okay, I'm trying to stop them from coming in.
Regulator is exposed. Okay, I'm taking it now. Oh, I've got it.
It's kind of nice the way that they're picking up these things.
Okay, let's make a break for it.
As quick as you can. We're not going to last much longer here.
Shields
But I
on
need
that.
you to get that ship in. I'm already on my way.
Alright, just keep running.
You see that? Just pointing that out, chaps, when you get to it, when the video catches up. Cool. In the bottom left, I think he's pinged something that's made his shield kind of work, because the little shield icon is next to the O2 icon, and he's now got like a yellow plus symbol there next to it, 100% plus, whatever that is.
Green.
Yeah, and it was green, but that little above the 7 there, that little shield icon has popped up, which is kind of cool. I mean, look, obviously that guy there is levitating on screen, but it's getting the
I guess so.
getting the character models onto the terrain and all that stuff. That's just all normal stuff. That's not a problem. That's all good. It's more about, for me, it's more about what are we doing.
Okay, we're about to exit on the west.
Although I don't quite understand why they've all gone blue. Why have they all gone blue? I don't get that. Anybody got an idea?
Shield.
What was that?
I think that's their energy shields.
Is it just show that they have a shield on?
Those
I
are the
believe
shields,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, maybe, yeah. Well, I don't know. That looks a bit weird. But if that's what it is, that's what it is. That's cool.
We're going to have to stay in this gap until the ship's in.
Coming in low and fast.
You know what? It might be a long shot, but I am hoping so much for some like basic HUD color customization in game.
No,
That would be phenomenal.
it ain't gonna happen.
That would be phenomenal. Come on.
It ain't,
Come on.
it ain't gonna
You're not
happen.
You're supposed to wait till off the stream. So.
I know. I'm sorry, man, but let's not.
Oh, I guess.
Hey, as I say, one of my favorite films. If you haven't seen the film 4 Rooms, guys, find 4 Rooms online. It's a Tarantino, Rodriguez film, and Tim Roth is in it. Antonio Banderas is in it, but Tim Roth plays this bellboy in this hotel, and there are 4 different stories of these 4 different people in the hotel. 4 rooms. Watch it; it's stunning. But one of the guys says, "Let's not beleaguer the facts. That is not going to happen." Av, that's not gonna happen. Okay, that is not going to happen. Well, and we were chatting about it sort of on the Discord, and I was thinking, wouldn't it be amazing if they sorted some of these things out? And then I thought, they ain't going to do it. What they're going to do is they're going to bolt this first person stuff on. It's not going to work. It's going to be clunky as hell.
Don't you dare. No.
Everything else Everything
Don't
else
curse it.
everything else is going to be exactly the same, but they're just going to bolt this FPS thing on, and we'll see how we go. I mean, look, guys, do you honestly think? Let's not even say in the alpha, but when they bring Odyssey out, I don't think they're going to make any changes to exploration. I don't think they're going to make any changes to commodity market. I don't think they're going to make any changes to power play, even though nobody gives a fuck about it. There are these huge parts of the game that they just don't. I don't get it. Why?
I mean,
what? Please help me, somebody. Why don't they do anything about it?
This update will probably make or break the game, and I'm hopeful for the first option.
Me too.
But yeah.
But I seriously, Bounce, I don't think they're going to make quality of life changes. I just don't think the development team have it in them. I really think, and the way it comes across when the community team play the game, they play it as if there's nothing wrong. There's nothing that irks them. There's nothing that annoys them. There isn't a problem. And I think that's a bit false. And I think they do it for a reason, obviously, because they want people to come and play the game. But you've got to understand, and you've got to acknowledge when things are not right. And if you don't sort it out, it just gets worse and worse and worse. There's nothing else that will happen. It will just atrophy. It will just get worse. If you do not acknowledge it, you've got to deal with it. And I just don't think they think there is anything wrong with the commodities market. They don't think there's anything wrong with the way that the black market works or the search and rescue works. It's all nobody. If you looked at some stats that you could find, the amount of search and rescue stuff that happens when there isn't a burning station happening will be exactly zero. There will be nothing. Because there's no point. There's no benefit to it. There's no...
Is there anything to make that more enjoyable at all?
There would be yes, Mr. AV. If you had some people who could write into the game some narrative that would send you off different quests to go and do different things. If there was some kind of goal to do, you don't have to. It's not difficult. You just have to make it interesting. You just have to make it enjoyable, and people will do it. But just nobody is going to go, oh, look, there's a occupied escape pod. Well, fuck it. I don't care. It's like, exactly. Do you know what I mean? It's like nobody cares.
CGs have been doing it.
If you could scan, even, let's just talk about this. If you could scan the occupied escape pod and you scan it with your data scanner and it goes, oh, look, this is Jonathan Edwards, the triple jump Olympic gold medalist from England. He has, you could have a great reward for taking him back. There's none of that. There's none of that. There's nothing. It's just... And I don't think stuff like that is difficult to inject into the game, even as it is right now. But it's a game. My worry is it is a game that the developers play and they are happy with what it is. They're happy with what it is. And that's my real worry. They don't see that the fact that websites like Inara and Elite Database and Elite Discovery, whatever, are there. They don't see that as a problem. They're like, oh, well, look, people are playing the game. That's not why those those websites are there, because it should be in the game. All of that stuff should be in the game. And I don't know why Frontier don't interact with Inara or EDDB or the guys who run Elite Dangerous Discovery, or why they haven't come up with some kind of way of making it work. They're all Windows-based applications. You know, we're not children. It's just stupid and annoying.
I think Gareth might have talked about the commodities market a little bit. I think that was one of his big interests, and it was on. It was at the latest gameplay trailer, this that we're looking at right now. The week after this, I think they had like a Super Cruise News or something. Or
yeah.
It was, Tuesday, Thursday, and they answered questions specifically about the this gameplay video. And Gareth, one of the devs, was on too, and I think he was talking about commodities a little bit. I think I'm definitely I want to bring that up after the stream too and look into that. I can't remember what he said, but that's a great point. You brought that up. And that's something I rarely think about too, is that the commodities market it almost seems like it's something you have to navigate around to get to what you want to play.
Yeah.
Sometimes. And I would love to see a change to that. Something to make it engaging. And like narrative would be awesome.
Spanx, what do you think about all that?
Yeah, I mean, some of the quality of life improvements seem to have just taken a really, really long time. It just seems madness that Elite has basically sat on the back burner for so long while they've been developing other games. It just seems madness to me.
You got to get the money where you can, my friend. Roller coasters and dinosaurs. That's where the money's at, yo.
Well, I get that. I mean, at the end of the day, they're a business, but yeah, I mean, there's still plenty of people playing Elite. Still plenty of people that are going to pay for decent content.
It's 500,000 players. I don't know if you guys heard that recently. That was the number, and that doesn't include the free week. It's 500,000 players that log on at least once every month. I think that's awesome.
I think if that's once a month, then there's way more obviously players that there are. I think what gripes me. Sorry, Bouncy. What do you? Sorry, mate. What do you think about that as well? We were just chatting about those things, all that stuff. I mean, Spank said about the resting on their laurels. What do you think about Elite just generally over the last couple of years?
No, he's completely right. They have been developing other projects on the side, and Elite has gotten very, very little love in the last few years. And the people are right to say that it's a mile wide and an inch deep, as you say. It's doesn't take much to breathe a little life into the missions and a little variety, little dynamic missions or something.
I think you're right. And the thing, what I was saying about the procedural thing, there's such a huge amount lauded on Elite for facsimilating the entire Milky Way galaxy through procedural generation, other than the known stars that we could actually put information in. And why can you not use that to just breathe a little bit more life into the missions that we have? Why, when you look at the missions board, do you do it with you almost do it with like a downtrodden like sigh, like, is there going to be anything interesting? But it's not, and that is a real problem because there isn't anything different. It's all exactly the same. You have whoever are the top factions giving out certain missions, whoever are not the top factions giving out kill missions to try and fuck up the other two factions. It's the same. It's exactly the same everywhere you go. It's exactly the same, and it's just so disheartening when you look at it sort of technically. If you look at it, if you slide yourself underneath it, you jack it up and you have a look and you start getting into the guts of it, you kind of think to yourself, I don't really want to look anymore. I actually just bring it back down. I'll just drive it. I'll just go. I'm fine. Don't worry about it. But I think they have such an ability to make this so rich, but they just don't do it. And I don't understand why they don't do it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I for one would can all of the community stuff, all of the live streams, people playing games. Oh, we're going to go and play a game, and me and this guy are going to fly around. I don't give a shit. I want you to actually make the game more interesting for me. I don't want to watch you play the game. You wrote the game. I play the game. That, give us something, which is why I've had to really nail down my expectations for next week. Really nail them down big time. And I hope I'm going to be surprised. I really do, because do you know what? I've got a lot of love for David Braben. I've been playing this guy's games since I was like 5 years old, and when I was 5 years old, he was like 15 or something stupid. So, he's not that much older than me, and I've followed his career through what he's been doing with Raspberry Pi and various different things, and all the other things he's been doing. And the guy is a very clever man, and I just hope his imagination and his drive is sufficient to push the team working on Elite Dangerous through the barriers that they have in front of them, because they do have barriers in front of them, and I hope that they can do it, and we'll see if they can do it. We'll see.
I think that's going to be Odyssey. As soon as the space legs came, that's what people are going to say a year from now.
I like that, Al. Yeah, as soon as the space legs came. All right, cool.
It blew up.
Let's do it. Right,
picking us up.
West side.
Alright, we're going to need you to pilot. They're really closing in on us.
Try and get out.
You should see me coming to the ridgeline now.
Good.
Yeah, they are coming hard and fast here.
They're coming hard and fast, boys. It's not as funny as possibly how much wood is in that, but it's funny. They don't look like they're coming hard and fast, I have to say, but it's interesting. I get the idea of what they were doing with this mission. They went in and they kind of snuck around. They went in, did what they were doing, and then they ran away. I hope we can get into all of these other buildings. So that's what I wanted to talk about, like the habitation building. You had the power building. You had, I'm sure there was like a agriculture building over there somewhere as well. And also, what is the methodology, or what is the mechanic within the game of just walking around? Can you wear, is there going to be like a disguise you can wear? They were talking about the whole thing. Bouncy, you've every time I've talked about this, you've always been saying about they're not scanning them because they're lower level. But if whatever the levels are, it would be cool if you could have like a disguise, or if you could have a hacked like scan chip, and if they scan you, and, you could do
duplicate profiles. That's nuts that you mentioned that. Yeah,
that would be cool. And that's
one of the features of the profile analyzer.
Is that in it? Is it?
Yeah, it'll duplicate profiles that you can use to. I guess the goal is to, like, those numbers above certain doors. That's the authority level you need, or something, or security clearance level.
Right.
And that's how you get there. You can duplicate. You can sneak around, get into the command center, duplicate like the head base leader's profile, and then get the authorization to get in the building.
I kind of like that. I don't like the idea that if people saw you and they were like, we're just going to scan you. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you look like Mrs. Crunch Plunkett. Oh, well done, Mrs. Crunch Plunkett. Off you go. And I'm like, yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, thank you.
That's my new commander name.
Mrs. Crunch Plunkett.
Basically a fake idea.
But what's your first name? Edna. Edna Crunch Plunkett. Okay, great. Off you go. See you later. Brilliant. All right. Anyway.
What was that, Bouncy?
Go on, Bounce. What are you saying?
I was saying that it's basically a fake ID, and if you get caught with it, they will fire at you or go after you.
Well, but
Oh, I can't wait. That sounds like
based on what these guys are doing, I don't think that's a bad threat, really. But I'm sure these guys were all dialed down to 1 just to allow the guys to do what they're doing. I mean, there's a 1 there. I mean, I'm sure that's like a 1. Is that? Do you reckon that's a rank symbol there? Do you think that's just like a private? Jaina McClure is like a private, I think, maybe.
Yeah, I reckon.
One.
Yeah.
Where do you see that? Oh, okay.
Yeah, here on her little shield here, Jaina McClure.
Oh, yeah.
Private. She doesn't have a shield. And you're right, look, the shield bar's gone. She is no longer blue. But she has a red head. That's all good. All right.
Yep. Yeah, look at that.
Coming in now. Got this incoming fire.
Interesting. Yeah, that's right.
I love, hold on a minute. Cool. This guy's level is 0. What the hell is this?
Coming in now. Got this incoming fire.
0. Kareem Rasmussen's level 0. Poor. Okay, that's all he does. He's like Hunchback of Notre Dame. Red head. Oh, it's terrible. Level 0. That's not good. They're putting them against level 0s. That's not fair, is it?
I just saw it. Okay.
Come on, boys, run away. She's down. Dead.
It's grenade.
Guinevere.
We're getting shot at by the Goliath now.
All right, turn and run. Let's go.
I have to say, this part I really enjoyed. So this bit actually got me going a little bit. I liked it a lot. This is cool. So, hey, I've not seen a Goliath skimmer. Are they actually in the game at the minute?
Yes. Yeah, it's coming up. It's to the right.
Yeah, I've not seen it. Are they actually in game right now? Can we see them in game?
Oh yeah, and like actually dangerous. Yep.
Oh shit! I've never seen one. Wow. Okay, that's cool. And what ship is this? Is this like an Alliance Crusader or something? What is it? Something?
It's not a Chieftain. I know that. Bouncy, did you catch what it was?
No, I have no idea.
I think Spanx. What is it? Is it a cruise? Is it what is it?
Well, my guess would have been Chieftain, but if Mr. V says it's not, then
I think it's a Crusader personally, but
I think that's what Arf said.
It's a ship anyway, and they're gonna get in. And I get the fact that they don't want to show you them enter, and because I think what would happen when they got onto that blue square, they would levitate up into the ship like an SRV would, and they'd be like, "Now we don't really want to show them that. We don't want to show them that. So let's carry on."
Come on, just a few more moments.
Goliath right in front of me.
It's shooting at me.
I'm trying to use the ship for cover.
Okay.
All right, just keep running. I'll try and cover us.
You can make it. You can make it. Keep running.
We're so close.
Okay, I'm under the ship. I'm almost on. Regulator in tow.
Let me know when you're in.
I'm getting in now.
I'm in.
Right, I'm on board.
He's not in. Look, you can see both of their little blue dots down there. You see? They're miles away. And it doesn't even look like that ship's on the floor. But...
Oh, and someone gets left behind.
We'll let them go.
Right at the end.
We'll let them go. Is that what happens?
And so's the regulator.
Alliance
we're on.
Crusade.
Let's go.
We're off.
Straight up and out. Come on, come on, come on.
No, they're both
Should
left
be
there.
clear.
Excellent
Yep,
job.
there they are.
All right, bring us home.
That's too fun.
I think they put that shadow in. I think they put that shadow in afterwards as well. I'm pretty certain they did. I can't see how that shadow works. Look.
Should be clear.
Excellent
There's no shadow.
job.
Well, maybe. Oh, I don't know. Maybe. Do you know what? If the sun's up there, maybe.
All right, bring us home.
Yeah, maybe it is.
Looks kind of weird. That shadow.
It did look kind of weird, but look, you got to give them their dues. All right, guys. So that was the video. We've all seen it before. We've had a good chat about all various different bits and bobs about it. The alpha's coming out in a week, essentially. It's coming out next week. So it's next Monday, actually, not tomorrow, but it's a week Monday. So what are you thinking here? What's going on? What are we doing here? We're going to get something going on the Monday night, okay? We're going to get
Mars High, meet up at the atrium at the bar.
What's the atrium? What are you talking about?
So after we land, we're gonna step out, and then we're gonna go to the back of the hangars. There's gonna be stairs. We're gonna walk up, then we're gonna hit a left, and that's gonna take us into what the atrium is, where you can go to like Frontier, or you can go to Vista, or whatever genomics. There's also gonna be a place we can walk down to where we're gonna go to the hangout spot, the lounge hangout spot.
Oh.
And we're gonna look out at Mars High, and we're gonna see the ships come in. We'll have Bouncy come in with his vet and take pictures.
Then I'll come in my hauler. Just
Yeah.
come in like that.
Get a sidewinder and just boost all the way in.
The back of the station. Yeah.
I'm just gonna crash right into the window like that. Hello.
I love it. Yep.
All right, cool. Okay, so look, let's get some opinion here. So let's go to you first, Spanks. Give us your we've just all watched the video, we've had a little chat. What do you think? Give us your honests. What are you saying?
I'm a bit like you. I've had to taper my expectations, I think. I understand this is going to be, well, an alpha, so I'm still a bit confused why they're calling it an alpha, yet they're releasing it to the entire player base, so surely it would be a beta, but I think that probably says something to the lack of polish it's going to have when it does drop. So I'm just curious about tempering my expectations for it. But
what did you like about the video they put?
It felt like
warm apple pie.
Mass Effect, the latest one, where you were running around Andromeda. Yes, that's it.
Okay.
Around some of the
oh, cool.
Running around some of the
good call.
And stuff like that. I mean, if it can do that and do that well, then it should be it should be good.
Yeah.
But we've got to wait until it drops, and then we can see what it's got and what needs fine tuning, shall we say?
But what didn't you like?
Or
what were you less impressed with, or what gave you cause for concern?
The lack of stuff to do in the mission. It was literally cut a door open up, nick an item, and then jump back in the ship and get out of there.
Yeah. How about that? I mean, that was the mission that they showed us. I get that. I know what you're saying, but yeah.
I really do hope that there are missions that are a lot tougher and a lot longer.
Do you want puzzles in? Do you want puzzles in the missions?
Yes, I mean, yeah. I mean, if you take
I was joking.
from Bungie's, well,
I wasn't there if you were.
And it was just like,
That'd be cool.
The community have great ability to solve almost any riddle that these developers dream up and throw at the community.
Yeah, they do it quick, don't they? Yeah.
Yes. So I really don't see an issue with them taking a leaf out of a Bungie's book and just being a little bit cryptic sometimes with some of the missions.
Yeah, I like a puzzle. I especially like puzzles that I don't particularly like puzzles that are so out there that you can't, a normal human being can't do them until you Google it. I like puzzles that as long as you have hints and you have an idea, even if there's a little. Oh, definitely! If there's a friggin' like a trail to follow, if you got to go here, you got to find these three bits. You got to go and farm 10 boar. I'm up for that. But I don't like the stuff where it's like I have no idea what I'm supposed to do here. I don't have a spectrometer. I am not a physicist. I can't fart into a glass and turn it into, candy floss. So please help me out. And you have to just wait until somebody goes, right, you just go to this place and go to this planet and then go to this coordinate. And you're like, well, great. Well, they may as well just fucking told me that. But yeah, I like puzzles, that you can work out. Definitely, 100%. Bounce. What do you think? What do you like? What did you like? What did you particularly like about the video?
Well, what I've been missing in Elite is, planet generation and geological features and such.
Yeah.
I do hope that it'll be good, the things they bring in, that it'll be a good experience. But if it's not, I'll probably just stick to what I do now and just fly my ship, as you said earlier.
But that's the thing, isn't it? So if it's not something that's going to captivate you, despite us all having to have paid £30 for it, or 40 euros, or whatever it is, or $50, or however much it is, at the end of the day, if you don't want to do it, you just carry on doing what you're doing. Because we've all been playing the game in the same way for the past 18 months, or however, nothing's changed in the game in the last 18 months. So we've all still been playing. And there is always stuff to do. But I think there will be stuff. I'm hoping that we will be enticed and captivated.
Yeah, they should flesh out that stuff a little bit.
Oh, dude, I hope they do, because they're, as I said earlier on, if they give it as much depth as they give the sort of events that they do, whether it's the Halloween event, the Adamastor, or the research base, or whatever it is, or the generation ships, or any of the stuff that they're really good at doing, you think it can't take too long to put that stuff together, and it definitely can't take too long to put that together with some procedural elements to it that randomize it to a factor of 1,000,000 on 13 different criteria. If it's 13 different criteria, Christ, it would be way more than 1,000,000. But it doesn't, to me, it doesn't seem too difficult to make things interesting. And I just, when Al, you said earlier on, you were like, I got this tip off, and you were genuinely excited, and I was like, yes, what's going on? And you were like, telling me to go to the Pleiades. What the hell? And then you went there, and then you were like, I've been hyper-addicted. And it was like, this is cool.
First time.
This is what
perfect.
the game is about. This excitement level. And I said this to the guys when we were playing Valheim on Friday. I'll play games, till the sun, sets in the friggin' east. But I enjoy games a lot. But when I enjoy them, I am deep in it. And the enjoyment I had playing Valheim on Friday was the best. It was literally the two most fun hours I've played on a computer game for years. I had such a crack. I couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't stop giggling. It was just ridiculous. But it was the type of game that allows you to do that. There's very little fallout for dying or anything like that. It's all very good. And to have these other people playing with me who were equally as idiotic and brilliant, it was a genuine thrill. It really was. It was a happy time. I really enjoyed it. And I hope that we can get some times like that in Elite, because the time before that was my favorite time, was when we were doing the combat missions, when it was me, you, and Bounce, and Spanks as well, I think, turned up as well. And it was just great. Yeah. When you're playing with other people, there's some kind of, do you know what I mean? There's like a shared, whether it's the shared camaraderie or whether it's just, it's a justification that what we're doing is actually, you know, mentally beneficial for us all. This is good, you know, this is good. This is a good pursuit. But anyway, I digress. Bounce. Just before we go to Mr. V, what didn't you like about the video? What caused you concern, or what did you think? What the fuck was that about?
Well, it's the alpha stuff, you know, the graphical stuff. But I hope and think they will iron those out eventually. But it's not that much in the video that scares me. It's more that they don't have a release for the stuff yet.
Yeah,
It'll be a 6-week alpha, and they said it will be a staged affair. So I don't know what to expect from that exactly. So I'm kind of scared by that. But
also will be okay.
Okay, yeah, no, totally get that. I was just, thanks Al for replying on the chat as well to Last Stake and to Dark Voiders and to Seven Starfish. And Starfish said you can get hyper addicted in first person mode. I don't think that's true, but that would be quite cool if you did it. You got a little
yeah.
You got like a I'm going up. You're going up for the anal probe or whatever that is. That's a funny joke. Anyway, it's funny because it's funny because it's childish. And Al, what do you think? So what you know? I know, and you got to be, you know, and don't everybody watching who comes and watches this, if they've watched this far. I know we've actually got quite a few people watching, but what, you know, you got to understand. I've played the game a hell of a lot. Bouncy's played the game hell of a lot. It probably more, maybe, or maybe the same amount, but I played it a long time before I got into it. Mr. V has only been playing recently, really, and Spanx has played a lot recently over the past couple of years, but not so much really before that. And it's, you know, I've been following the game for such a long time. I don't want to give this opinion that I'm not interested or I'm not excited. I am, but I'm, you know, you guys all know me. I'm a very emotive person. I don't hide my emotions very well, and I don't want to be disappointed. I genuinely do not want to be felt as if I've been kicked in the nuts, and I hope I don't feel like that. And I think Spanx watched the video as well and was like, "Meh, it didn't give me the feels that I wanted." Really, Spanx, is that what you know?
Yeah, that is basically where I was coming from on it. Yes,
it didn't give you the big hey ho, yeah, let's go. But I totally understand. Bounce. I mean, Bounce is. You're super positive, and you've been playing the game, and you're
not positive, but more neutral.
Well, no, I know. I
agree with Spanx too. It didn't give me the wow factor at all, actually.
Ah, okay, all right. I thought it did. I thought you were more on the pos side.
Just my English.
Yeah, no, that's cool. But it's. But Al, you're generally hyped for the game, and I am. Don't get me wrong, I am generally hyped for the game, and I just don't want to be. I just don't want to be slapped in the face with a kipper. I just don't. It's happened so many times. I don't. I don't.
I'm with you.
I'm not. This is not the Dead Parrot sketch. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be in the river. I don't want to be there, you know. But Al, coming to you last, what did you? Well, let's start with what you didn't like about the video, I guess. What didn't you like about the video that they put out? The video we just watched.
I think right off the top of my head, the fact that it pretty much looked like people were just walking around normally. when it was supposed to be half G.
Yeah.
I was really looking forward to kind of getting a feel for how that might play out. As far as like, what are the physics going to be like? You know, what is it going to look like? Is it going to be lumbering, or is it a little smoother? Or if it's a high G world, you know, what's that going to kind of look like, or what can I look forward to?
Jet boots.
There wasn't any of that. Yeah, right, exactly. And what are the suits going to do for us with that too? Maybe there's only one that has like a jetpack or something. But I just didn't see any of that at all. So I'm hoping that they do implement that, and actually that it wasn't just like a placeholder or just something to fill out space, that G marker was actually something in the game and it's going to have real effect.
It's interesting you say that, because they have said, I think they've said on stream that the FPS or the whole of Elite Dangerous, there is going to be no elements of like 9 degrees of movement, 0 G. So there is not going to be ever any 0 G.
No complete 0 G.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. And then I heard ARF in I think it was like a Super Cruise News sort of thing, mentioned that during a test he was like teleported outside of the ship, so he was in orbit just as Space Legs, and he kind of alluded, or it sounded like he alluded, that there is some kind of 0 G. So is there absolutely going to be none at all, or is it going to be like in a death scene there's 0 G? You know what I mean? Like, is it going to be an animation or something?
That's weird. I mean, that if they allow you to be teleported outside into 0 G, then that's just...
That was a mistake. I got to say that was a mistake. That was an error.
Ah, right. Okay.
But then that's what was the example that had him kind of say what he did after that.
Okay. Yeah, the gravity thing. The gravity thing was a bit weird, but it's cool. But that's cool. But what did you like? And I'm sure there were a few things that you did like.
Oh, a ton. Like, absolutely. Like, just like you said, you know, March is actually, this is my first year. So it's my full year playing Elite Dangerous, and it's been an absolute blast. Like, I'm completely sold on it from the ground up, you know, just being this incredible space simulator and going just kind of full out with a hotel setup and VR, and just kind of being in this awesome space that's like you're actually flying a starship.
And I love it awesome. Every time you speak. When we're on the Discord, I love the fact that you never call them spaceships or ship. You always call them starships. I love it. I love it.
There's a difference between well, their spaceship is normally it's intrasolar.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't want to go to the moon.
You know, right? I want to go to that other star. So I'll take my star.
Today I learned.
Yeah. That's that's just from my nerdism, pure nerdism, and just like a huge fan of space. So, and like you mentioned too, that pretty much it's going to be difficult for me to be disappointed with Odyssey. It's, you know, so to me, the majority is that it's going to be more things on top of my already awesome space sim.
Yeah.
But I am worried about some of the things falling through that really the community needs, like you guys were mentioning and I was learning about. It's like the commodities market. I mean, that's a huge thing, and that can be something they could really take advantage of to get people interested in actually trading to commanders directly, or like setting things up and making it a little bit more robust or interesting, instead of just picking up and dropping off and picking up and dropping off. So that was really interesting, and I'm hoping that those kind of bits are done well, so that you guys, so that like the veterans feel good about it, because that'll tell me that I'll have even like more to look forward to, because I still have a lot to learn about the game as it is.
But I mean, your
Especially
your enjoyment level of the game is still quite high, which is good. As is mine, as is Bouncy's, as is Specs. Otherwise, we wouldn't be playing it. We wouldn't be doing this video. But
yeah, that's awesome. You guys
it's
have been playing since day one.
the things you're talking about, those quality of life things, the commodities market, all that kind of stuff. I am 99% sure none of that will change with Odyssey. I don't think that's what they're focused on. They're focused on getting the boots on the ground. And that's gonna piss off a lot of people, because
I hope they don't abandon it. Yeah.
But also, I think the majority of the player base will buy Odyssey because it is, it's a purchase, 30 quid, however much, whatever it is, 40 euros, $50, whatever it might be. And it's, I think the majority of the player base who actually play the game will buy it anyway, because they'll be thinking, well, hold on, we haven't actually paid for the game for years, and this kind of weird, I know Spanx hates like a yearly subscription based model of a game, but the devs have to sort of, they can't just keep perpetually giving you content for no recompense, but they got it.
Yeah, certainly.
We haven't paid for anything new for a long time, really, since Horizons, and
sure, great example of being something that really changed the game. Totally
I just think that the Odyssey update is going to be so focused on the boots on the ground, the rest of the game is going to stay the same. I hope it doesn't. I really hope it doesn't, because they can make some great sweeping changes to the mission system,
I'm feeling good about it.
The commodity system, as we talked about, but also the way that the power play works. There's like 10 or 5% of the player base who actually do anything with that. And I looked at setting up the squadron today and I was like, oh my God, it is actually tied into
abysmal. Yeah,
the power play. You've got to choose somebody who's anyway, all that kind of stuff. But I just hope, hope springs eternal. You got to hope that they know what the people want,
I'm confident in that. I'm confident that they do know what people want, because I think they summarize things well in a lot of.
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing. I'm definitely not laughing at you, Al. I'm just laughing at. I'm just laughing. Oh God!
It sounds like the community managers are on top of what's at the top of the forums, and like what's bothering people most, even though they can't, unfortunately, really have too much influence on whether or not they get fixed. For example, the pulse wave analyzer, which that is just a shame.
But that's fixed now.
That's a huge embarrassment. Yes, yeah, it just took months though, which isn't just that's just nonsense.
Months. So hold on.
Yeah,
take those months and multiply that by 8 months and turn it into 2 years. That's how long it took. It took a long time. It was not months. It was a long time.
So it was broken even before then.
It's been broken forever.
Backwards.
It's been broken forever.
Oh, now that is new.
But I think what's interesting about that one thing with the pulse wave analyzer, you have this gameplay element, which is you fire this, it looks at the asteroids and it tells you which ones are the ones you should go for on a really weird scale of which one looks hottest. And you kind of think, okay, all right, well that's exactly how technology works. Okay, I'm up for that. And then you go up to the one that looks the hottest and you fire your prospector limper at it and it goes, yeah, this one's got 1% nothing, 99% water. And you're like, fuck you. What the fuck is this? What the hell is that?
I know. I hate that. Yeah. It's such a pain to try and find those damn asteroids that are lit perfectly. like the bright yellow.
And the
every
ones
time.
that, seriously, the way, I mean, I'm sure the other guys will say the same thing. You just put mining lasers on and you mine any asteroid that's the biggest asteroid, and you just mine the shit out of it and pick up anything that comes out of it. That's it.
Yep.
Suck it all up and then bugger off. That's it.
That would be fun. That's completely valid. That is completely therapeutic.
Okay, guys. Anybody got anything to add on the Odyssey? We've got the Odyssey coming out. We'll have the Iliad coming out in a couple of years.
Oh man, that's I shouldn't have laughed at that.
We'll get all of Homer's greats. Bouncy, anything to add? What are you hoping for? Actually, Bounce, give me some. What are you hoping? What's your ideal? What do you want? What do you really want? What's the main thing? And you, Al, if you think as well, and Spanks, you think, but Bounce, yeah, go on. What's the main thing you want?
The main thing I wanted was to walk around within my ship, actually. That's what I wanted Space Lakes for, to see the scale.
Well, that's not coming, is it?
No, it's not. It's not. But other than that, I want them to succeed. I really do. But I'm still on the fence. We'll just have to see, I think.
Okay, no, that's cool. Very honest as well. I'm on the fence for Odyssey, but I'm on the fan fence. I'm not like on the troll fence. I'm on the fan fence. I'm still I'm a big fan of the game, and I'm going to keep playing it forever and ever. And we'll make it work anyway, guys. You know what I mean? We'll make it work as long as they don't like limit it. You can only have like 3 people in a wing, or doing missions, and that is a consideration, because they may say, well, hold on, you can't have 5 people going on a planet. It'll make it to it. You can only have 1 or 2 or 3, so that's an interesting consideration, how they're going to run the multiplayer of doing the missions. We'll see how that works when it comes out. Actually, Bounce is good. I never even thought of that. That's oh god, that'd be horrible, wouldn't it? You can only have like 3 people, 2 people, or whatever. That'd be shit. Anyway, okay. No, but yeah, I hear you. You're on the fence, but you're positive, and hopefully you'll be. We'll all be positively and happily turned around with what they do. But we'll see. But Spanks, what do you think? Spanks, what do you think? What do you want from Odyssey? What is it?
I think it's got to bring friends together. If that can,
that's a great.
If that can happen, and friends are quite happy to meet up and run missions together, and have some banter while they're doing it, then yeah, I'm all for that.
Mate, you made me have a little tear come out then. But you're right. I think you're absolutely right. That's great, isn't it? Yeah.
Awesome,
definitely.
man.
I mean, the way that they do the wings at the minute works, doesn't it? Skadun just saying, do you have a tip for earning money? Buy low and sell high, my friend. They do the missions, the wing missions that they have at the minute are kind of all right, but there isn't a huge amount of interaction like what we saw on the video, where he's like, can you cover me? I think that was quite nice what they were saying. It's like, you can see which way, can you see if anybody's looking where I need to go, can I run? And he's like, yeah, go for it, off you go. If that is implemented correctly, like way back, if you remember when Time Splitters 2 was out on the PS2, and there was that one level where you were in Japan and they had those cameras watching all the time, and you had to really time what you were doing. And then when you were really clever, you realized you could just turn around and shoot the cameras. But other than that, it's, that is a good thing. I agree with you, Spanks. The community element of it, I think, is superb. Definitely.
Yeah, I definitely think we should get the squadron on the go.
Yeah.
And try and get some like-minded people together and see how it goes, basically.
Yeah. Well, I was almost did it today, and then I looked at it and I was like, well, it should be independent. And then I was like, well, maybe I'll attune it to Serious Court. But anyway, we'll get to that. We'll talk about that on the Discord tomorrow. Okay, that's cool. And Alan, so lastly, what is, by no means leastly, what are you really, what's your thing about Odyssey when it drops? Maybe not the alpha, but when it comes, what do you really want out of it? What is it?
Since day one, even before I knew Odyssey was ever going to be a thing, is honestly just to see all the different kinds of sunrises and sunsets on different planets. That is always what I've wanted. I've wanted to see them, I wanted to visit them myself, new places. I wanted to get out, so to speak. Now I actually will be able to soon. And see all the different colors and how the different planet types are going to interact with their atmospheres, and just like, I'm just losing my mind.
That's
inside,
cool.
Getting all my ships out there and just parking them, and instead of like signing out, instead of going back to Jameson or something like that, I'll just find the sweetest planet, set down and then log out.
Yeah,
something like that would be awesome.
That's cool. I have to say as well, you should speak to Mr. Mounts, because he knows some pretty killer locations.
Oh yeah,
he's got some good ones in his brain there. You should check him out. He sent me down onto that one. You sent me down to the Planet of Death bounce, didn't you? I'm pretty certain you did.
The Planet of Death.
Yeah. Is that the one
Which
that
one
is that the one that spins around like, and the other planet spins around like once every minute?
Oh yeah, New Africa in Epsilon.
That's
India.
it, man. You sent me there. I was loving it. I got out. Well, I was in the SRV, but I was just like, I was mind blown, man. You been there, Al?
No,
dude.
No, I haven't.
Okay, man.
I gotta see it.
We got to get you down there. That is seriously. You're on the planet, and you look over, and you can see, if you get it right, your planet is not spinning so much, but you can see the star, and the star is there, and then other planet or moon is orbiting in between you, and it just goes around once a minute. It's just bonkers. Absolutely bonkers.
I've heard. Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Okay, awesome. Cool. Well, look, guys, we've had a good chat there. I think.
Yeah, damn good chat.
I think we're ready. So let's get it down. We got a week to go. This Wednesday, I'm going to do the Guardian stuff on PC. So if anybody wants to come and do Guardian stuff on Wednesday, we're doing it.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I need to do that.
Cool. And out. Look, give us some more of your vids, man. In the Pleiades. It's nice. How long are you staying down there for?
Maybe a little while longer.
Or are you already out of there? Or are you going somewhere else?
No, I'm still in the Pleiades. Because I did want to get the tip off. I did get a second one too, but that's on the other side of the bubble.
Okay.
But I do want to stay in the Pleiades because that's wild. I actually got hyper addicted twice in a row, and I want to see if I can get one of those again for before I head out. But I'm also getting used to my rudder pedals, so I have to kind of relearn how to fly from scratch.
Cool. It's so good. When you drive around the SRV, it was so good to watch. It was great fun. And then you would just talk, and then you would flick into the camera mode, and it would be like a drone would fly up from where you were, and you'd be like, right, I might come over here, or I might go over there. And then you were like, nah, I'm going to go down. And then you were like, do you know what? These planets, they need better groundskeepers. And I was like, that's so funny.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it, man. Thank you. That's awesome.
Cool. That's wicked.
Yeah, guys, get a kick out of it. I'd love it.
Yeah,
I'll make a few.
That you should do, man. You should definitely do it. I've linked your channel into the Discord as well, just to let you know. It's there.
Oh wow. Oh, thanks, man. All
right. Everybody is going to be coming. Everybody's be knocking at your door. They want more videos. That's the way it works.
All right.
Right, guys. Look, Be good, be good,
Awesome.
be good. Lovely, lovely. Almost 3 hours chatting Elite stuff with you boys, and I couldn't have spent a lovelier Sunday. So, look, take care. I'll sign this off. Odyssey's coming, a week tomorrow. It's going to be good. We'll see how we get on. Let's get together, get our boots on the ground, run around, and have. I hope we can have as much fun with our boots on the ground in Odyssey as we do on Valheim. Because I tell you what, I super enjoy playing my games with you boys because you're awesome and I love you to bits. Okay, so be good, take care, and we'll come back throughout the week, and we'll come back on Wednesday, and we'll come back next Friday and on Sunday, and then the Monday is going to be Odyssey. All right, take it easy, boys. Thank you, man.
Have a good night, guys.
Be good, boys. See you later.
Yeah, see you.
Take care, guys.
What the frick is this? What the frick is this, he says. It's a professional streaming channel, guys. Come on, what are you going to do? It's professional.
Grammarly does more than catch errors. With Grammarly, you can find really...
I can't believe I managed to get a Grammarly ad on the